unajua saa zingine ni ngumu sana, maybe mkuwe na security. Sasa zile mko na security ndio inabidi muingie huko. So kama hamna hiyo security, hamwezi mkaingia huko. So saa zingine educate watu wengine ni ngumu. Challenge nyingine unapata ni funding. Sasa kama mna funding ya vitu zingine, kama tuseme mtenda pale pengine watawaambia lazima mtoe pesa ndio mfanye hiyo public participation maybe for ground, na pengine hamna hiyo pesa, na watu wengi wana believe mkienda pahali hata kama ndio public participation lazima muwapatie chai ama kitu kidogo. So unaona pia ni challenge. Pale pengine ni saa zile maybe hamwezi cooperate ama mko kitu moja na administrators, the area administrators. Because kama tuseme kama unataka kufanya hiyo public participation, kuna watu kama ward admin, na kama utaingia kwa ward admin maybe yeye hayuko ready ku receive. So unaona pia hiyo inaweza kuwa ni challenge kubwa sana, lakini kuna solutions.
Nice. Okay, upande ya solutions we have what we call public participation. Yeah, making people to participate is a very good thing. In fact, that one sums everything together. We have to make sure that religious groups are together, the village guys are together, administration, and all those things are together. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. That was an incredible performance. Let us appreciate them. Kindly, can we all stand up? Tusimame kidogo. So, how many more groups are remaining? 2 groups, right? Please remember that we are all doing this so that we can all come up with a collective action plan. Ama namna gani? Ambia jirani yako collective action plan. Sio mchezo. Nini iko huko mbele? Collective. Yes, so I want us to do a short energizer. Excuse me, we are waiting for you. Yes, thank you. A short energizer. We're just going to swing a bit. Tuseme nini? Tukiswing. Pardon? Climate power. Haya, ikuje 1.
Climate power.
Tunapiga ya mkono, alafu tunapiga ya mguu. Sawa? 1. Nikisema 1 unarudia 1. No, nikisema 1 unasema climate power. Sawa? Ama unasema climate champion. Sawa sawa? 1.
Climate power.
2.
Climate champion.
1.
Climate power.
2.
Climate champion.
Awesome. Let's have our seats and have the next group present. Please, I'm sure it will not take more than 4 minutes. Usingoje nikuambie uketi. And remember, we are not repeating what has been said. Sawa? All right.
In that case, I cannot talk so much. But I'm small. She's Bianca. Tufanya tu haraka because all these things have been said, but lazima pia tusinakiti because for the sake of inclusion. Causes, challenges, water scarcity, crop destruction, sana naangalia floods na dunia, crops tunafagia, na solutions to water harvesting, shasemwa, digging boreholes or boreholes in the Kama. Irrigation, sandams, proper infrastructure, drainage, na kutengeneza kitchen gardens, na zile multi-storage tire gardens, these go gardens. Another problem with health is contaminated water. Sana where we work in slum communities, Kibra, Kawale, Nakuru, Njenga, kuna shida kubwa ya maji kuwa ni machafu kwa sababu ya flooding na kuchanganyika na maji ya ziwa, zinakuja zinakutana. At the end of the day, kwa pipe yako mwisho unapata maji umekunywa ama umepika nayo ama umetumia maji chafu na magonjwa. Dumping, matakataka kujaa, wale wanajua Kawangware wanajua takataka imejaa hapo Kawangware. Malnutrition, sana kwa watoto. solutions for proper drainage, volume of water, water filters, recycling, waste management, proper sanitation, river restoration, kusaidia kuosha the river. Someone talked about it from South B, I think, so my colleague.
On to the next one, economic opportunities. We have challenges, loss of livestock, change, where we talk about the causes of droughts, floods, and solution is invest in drought resistant, like camels, goats, and send them out. Next is change weather patterns and like floods, droughts. We should adapt in businesses, and lack of jobs is another challenge among the youth mostly, whereby the cause is high cost of living and climate injustice. Another challenge was community leadership advocacy. These are through corruption, conflict between members on weak leadership, and lack of information. Causes, it's poor leadership and misunderstanding. Solution is creating awareness, choosing good leadership, and inclusivity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. They have done well, eh? Tumesikia? Yeah. So the kind of results we want is going to be determined by the kind of leaders that we choose. Hatuwezi ignore your point. Kwa pamoja? Yes. Kama namna gani? Wow. So can we kindly have the next presentation?
Hi everyone. I'll be representing my group. Kwa climate change and food securities, challenges zenye tumepata ni kunakuwa na unpredictable weather patterns. Sometimes temperatures zinakuwa juu, then kuna soil erosion, alafu kuna crops zinaafektiwa na pesticides. Then kuna scarcity due to dependency of the rural areas. Like farmers, watu wenye tuko hapa tuna depend sana, watu wako rural areas for food. For the solutions, during the sunny weathers, tufanye irrigation and we opt for greenhouse farming. And then farmers pia opt for farming, so like for crops zenye hazileti like hakuna pesticides, crops zenye haziafektiwi na pesticides sana. Haya, kwa mambo ya health and climate resilience. So first of all yenye iko ni, for example, kukiwa na high temperatures, persons with albinism wanakuwa affected na those rays. So solution to that, to make availability of hizo sunscreens to the public hospitals zikuwe ziko free, and then also we create awareness. Mambo ya waterborne diseases like diarrhea, to make sure to create awareness kukiwa na floods. Of course, maji itaenda ingie kwa places zenye, like in the places, like maji itachanganyikana, maybe ingie kwa shops, places watu wanapikia food, ita resort to that. Economic opportunities. Like kwa youth wanaweza anza like wakishikana pamoja wanaweza anza like a project yao ya kukuza miti ambao watakuwa wanauzia watu na wanawaelimisha kuhusu jinsi ya kupanda miti. Another thing, mambo ya advocacy, like the CBOs zenye ziko hapa sisi wote tukikama and we partner with the government na hiyo department ya like forestation au in that department watakuwepo wakitupia resources zenye ziko available like seedlings. Yeah, that's all.
Wow. Let's give her a wow. That's incredible. Imagine all these things that you've been presenting here, or equally sharing with one another. Tukienda na hiyo force, tujitume na hiyo bidii, itakuwaje? In the next few years, itakuwa poa? Tutakuwa mbali. So basically this team is telling us to work together with the government. Na tukisema government, it's the government of the day. How many programs are being implemented? Who can tell us how many programs are being implemented in Nairobi County?
Nairobi County.
Yeah, but do not mention the names.
Names of the programs, like we are in wanataka initiate 100 classrooms for GSS. They want to moderate science and whatever in Nairobi County. I'm talking about Nairobi County. Even so, they want to do e-Kazintani to be specific after they update in terms of cleaning. To make sure that we have our safe space. To make sure that we will plant tree on our community.
Awesome. Let us appreciate her. I think I was walking towards South B. What was South B? And there's some serious activities that are going on there. So what I can urge all of us is be a partaker of that. In the next few years, utakuwa unasema hata mimi nilikuwa huko. Tusingoje serikali ifanye kila kitu. Sisi ndio serikali. Ama namna gani? Ambia rafiki yako hapo, mimi ni serikali pia. Sawa. Any other group?
The government of the day.
Oh, we are done, right? So we are going to take a few. I want us to wrap up this session. If you have something to say, you can share with us. You can receive a few. We can receive some feedback. You know, ile kitu umeona hata wewe hiyo naanza huko kwetu. Utuambie. Yes.
I appreciate what she just talked about, what the government is doing. We have a problem in Nairobi County because of all the 47 counties, we are the ones who don't yet have a climate change act. So even these activities that she talked about have been programmed illegally because there's no very legal framework. And so where we work in the 5 wards in Mbagathi South, we have a working group on climate change, and they managed to petition the government of Nairobi to accelerate the passing of the Climate Change Act. So we did that beginning of this month, and immediately after that, after 3 days, it was put on the floor of the House for discussion for the 3rd reading. So we hope that in the future they will try and accelerate that, because they have an action plan but no act. And so we can't receive funding even at community level of what their buildings will be, for example, because there's no funding model under the act.
Wow, quite impressive, right? Wow, let us appreciate him. Unasikia watu wako, grao inafanya kazi. Uliza mwenzako tena, wewe unafanya nini? Wewe unachangia nini? Ukiitwa community participation, unaweza kusema naenda salon. Which is a good thing, but we can clearly see that we are working. So I would like us to, any other feedback? Okay.
Habari zenu, majina ni Vero. Mimi sitasema mambo na feedback, nasema hii Crown Trust naishukuru sana juu tumelearn more about hizo project, hizo mambo na kupanda hizo boga nini, na nimekuja kurealize ukikula zile mboga zenye sai tunapanda na zenye zinatoka mbali kuna tofauti kubwa sana. Mimi juzi tumepanda hizo kunde, tukapanda spinach, tukaweka dania. But ukikula hizo kunde na ukule za Marigiti ziko na tofauti kubwa sana. So nashukuru sana.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's appreciate her. Nitakuja huko hata mimi nionje hizo. Zangu bado sijaanza kuchuna. That's great work, eh? Umepanda zenu? Umepanda wapi? Kwa Mkunji. Kwa mtoto. Kamkunji grau. Hapo lazima nifike. Hata kwenu? Awesome. So we are all the green champions for change, eh? And it's a good thing. Unajua kuna kuongea na kwenda kuimplement. So when your colleague akisikia mmepanda, kuna wale nimeona already hawajaanza. Tafadhalini. It's a challenge to all of us. Sawa sawa. Hapa nyuma, any feedback even as we break for lunch? Online, can we get some views or some feedback from our online team? You can kindly read for us.
The guys online, I'm only seeing questions.
Okay.
And we would really want to interact with you guys online. We want you to be part of it. I'm seeing a couple of people who I know are doing amazing work in climate. So someone like Daniel Asha, do you want to say something? Do you want to contribute towards the topic? Lawrence, Onoka, we want to hear from you guys. Okay, I see Asha is trying to speak. Can I get some assistance?
Okay, Mike. Mike,
Go speak.
Asha, go ahead.
Okay, we can hear you, Asha.
being funded either by the local fund or by other support partners initiatives. So they are actually living in a Delta setting and also in the implementation of the climate change program at the community level. So there is great potential for women and also for youth to take advantage of the knowledge that they already have in terms of trying to influence the agenda at the local level. Maybe I will stop at that point when I might talk about it. I think get to benefit from the beginning of the session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. Do we have any other person from online who wants to say something? We want you to feel like you're part of the activity that is happening today. Don't be left out. So anytime you want to say something, you can interact with us by writing on the chat or by raising your hand. And I'm monitoring closely, so of course I will engage you. So yeah, feel like you're part of the team that is here. And thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, our online team. Thank you, Daniel, and your team for that insightful feedback and the amazing work that you're doing. So we will have Ratemo.
Hello. Nashukuru sana. Mimi Michael Ratemo nimekuwa ni beneficiary sana wa kwanza. Mimi kwa hii project ya Kitchen Garden nimekuwa nawafundisha. Nimeanza kufundisha Kamkunji, Kibera, Dagoretti. Na mimi nataka niwakumbushe hivi, sasa hivi tunaelekea msimu wa inaweza kawa ni kiangazi. Kuna mbegu tulipewa, please tupande. Sijapata simu yoyote kutoka kwenu, wale nilikuwa nafundisha. Sijui mlijua zaidi au mtaki msaada wangu ama namna gani? Hata kuangalia pia nitashukuru sana nione vile mnaendelea. Asante. Kuna mbegu tulipewa tuzitumie.
Okay, have a response to that.
Thank you so much, Ratemo. Let us appreciate him. Incredible.
Ratemo, so far so good. Wanafunzi waliiva. As Dagoretti North constituency, tuko na almost kama six gardens ambazo zina do very well. Tumetuma pictures and videos on how people wanafanya urban farming, but sorry kwa hatukukuonesha picha ama tukukuelezea, but wanafunzi wameiva.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Team Dagoretti. Back to you, Minnie.
Okay, so I'm very pleased in how we are carrying out today's activities, and thank you so much. You have turned this into a dialogue, just like I wanted. I am seeing the ladies who could not speak before. I'm seeing the courage. I'm really proud of you in the work that you're putting in there. Also, those ones that have done really amazing work around climate, but naona kidogo ni kama wanaogopa, but they're doing really amazing work. I hope after lunch you'll have the courage to speak to us and let others learn. I hope we remember the 4 objectives of this particular meeting. Objective number 1 was to facilitate dialogue. Sawa, dialogue around climate and what is happening currently in our communities and what we are doing about it as women, right? Number 2 was to share insights. We've had insights from various places. We've had insights from Kamkunji, Dagoretti, Kibra, but there is also another demographic that has been represented. I really haven't heard your views. I really want to hear your views. Sawa. Let's be fearless. To empower participation. So we've done that. You're participating, your capacity build, now to build networks. We have agreed that to live here, you have to live with a contact. And the contact should not just be a decoration in your phone. It should be a contact that you will use. Sawa. As we discussed, I also wanted us to bring in the dimension of policies. What are the policies within our communities that tumesikia? Sawa, the policies that are being brought to the table in our counties, in our wards. Say tuko na ward reps. Do you know your ward reps? Are your ward reps doing what they're supposed to be doing? These are the aspects that I really want us to bring in. I remember Achichi brought in an aspect of PWD, what was it? the policy that was being passed, right? And she highlighted that within a word. So what are these policies then you unasikia? Are you interacting with them? Are you attending public participation? If you're not, why? Are you able to understand these things when you attend public participation? Or you go there by hearsay and you focus on that? That is also something I really want us to look at, and I want to hear from you. Sawa? How are you interacting with these policies? Nani ame-interact na policies zozote kutoka penye ametoka? How many people? Guys. How many people have attended public participation? Who has attended any public participation within their community? Most of you, right? But then how have you attended public participation but unasema hauja participate kwa any policies, amendments? Do we know how we can go about? Do you know the processes of those policies? Do you know how to read those policies? Nani anajua atuambie, how do you read those policies? Ama where do you seek assistance when reading those policies? Which are some of the policies you've had around climate? How are your ward reps chosen? Is anyone here a ward rep? Nataka kuona mikono. Anyone who has a position within the county, na usijifiche, wengine hawajua. Anyone? Nancy, poni hiyo mkono. Anyone else who is coming from the county? Hata kama wewe unafanya kwa ofisi ya chief. Unafanya kazi na chief. Nataka kuona. Kwa nini ni hivi? Kwani chief wenu ana embezo? I think embezo mbele. Inua. Yay, we want to know. Someone. Hata mimi naona. It's okay. You are allowed to the right of privacy, by the way. Just like we say, kama utaki picha ichukuliwe, it's okay to say no. Sawa? So it's okay. Nasikianga in the millennial spirit, you don't know how to say no. Can somebody say no with me? No. It's okay to say no. Sawa? So I wanted to know which policies have you interacted with? Do you know the processes? Because nimeona tumeinua sisi wote mkono on public participation, but then when it has come to matters policy, so what were you public participating in? Anyone? Ama niwalete mic. Munisaidie tafadhali. So what were you participating in other than policies? What else were you engaged in? Budget making, right? Budget making, yeah? Yeah, county. No? Government. Okay, county government, budget making. What else? Other than policies, what else were you engaged in? Tafadhali jamani. It's a liable.
We have some hands for that.
Yeah? Kupanda miti. Okay, mjamu unapanda miti.
Kwa kuna mazingira tukaambiwa tunafaa ni mazingira yetu sasa sijui tukalitokea na hiyo administration na kwetu tukatoa kupanda miti.
Okay. And that's it. The direction was you were participating in. Okay, kupanda miti. Yes, what else? Greenhouses. Okay.
Most of the time, public participation is on CIDP, mostly, and ADP, and then CFSP. So most of the guys who go there, they go there for that. But majority wanaenda sababu kuna kitu. Kuna wale wametumwa na kuna hajatumwa. Unajua hivyo? Kuna wale wametumwa na kuna hajatu. Wale wametumwa ndio wanaongeanga sana. Unajua utumwa. Wanaongea sana. Wale wametumwa wanakataza wale wengine kuongea.
Okay, kitu moja nitasema in all kwa zile public participation, kila mtu anakuja na interest zake. utaona wale ambao watakuja, wenye ambao umesema watakuja wengi, kuna ile participation of liquor. Kila mtu ako na interest in terms of the business. Ni kweli utaona watu wamejituma. But hizi other public participation, I think tulikuwa among those people wenye wako hapa, I can name few. Tulikuwa Charter Hall and Crown Trust. We were championing for the act ambayo inafaa kuwa documented na ifanye implementation in terms of how we elect our wards and na wale watu ambao watakuwa na represent kutoka kule chini mashinani mpaka kwa counties. So everything mimi nasema ni kujituma, and in public participation lazima uwe na purpose. Unaenda kwa public participation kufanya nini? You make yourself available with or without hiyo pesa. You have to be there. Your voice matters a lot in terms of intervention.
Yes. Amazing, right?
Si tumekuwa tukifanya kama South Beach, tumekuwa tukifanya public participations mingi sana through our ward admin na our MCA, because ile kama saa hii kuna hiyo inakuja ya slum upgrading ya huko kwetu, hiyo tumefanya, na pia kila mtu pia hapa anajua kulikuwa na ingine ya impeachment, so hakuna mtu ata participate public participation.
Okay, nikiongeza hiyo ya Nancy, tumekuwa tukifanya kadhaa, but tunaona watu wengi juu hakuna kitu hawataki kujitokeza. Wale wanajitokeza ni wale tu unajituma, na tumezoea ile ya kujituma kila siku ya kujitolea. So ile tumekuwa nayo juzi ni ya kurejista kutoka NHIF to SHIF, kuelimisha watu kwa mambo na SHIF na kwa nini kurejista.
Sensitization.
Yes, yes.
So the aspect within the topics that we were discussing, there is a topic around health and climate.
Yes.
We see it?
Yeah.
You did not participate. Why? Why?
Mimi tumekuwa tukitana hizi mkutano mbalimbali kama kwa machifu huko, mimi challenge kwa sauti kwa sisi na lazima, na tumekuwa tukitana mkutano kwa wazazi kwa sababu kuna sasa kama ikifika saa moja kuna vijana wengi hawana kazi. Sasa niko kazini kushika wazazi wao ngeta. Hata wewe unaweza shika tamu yako, ukiji mambo yako tukunagiza. Unaangalia simu, unaangalia pesa. Hata kuna mtu alikuwa kwa vijana wengine wanataka kutafuta maji. Mzungu. Sasa ndio tunaitana mtoto kama hizo tunaita wazazi, tunajua tunaongelesha, pia wale wakaenda watoto wao waongelesha kwa sababu pia wakipatikana kushika watu ndio watashika na kuanzia kwa jela. Sasa ni vitu tunawaita, tunaongelesha wale pia wakaenda watoto chini, waongelesha watu hizo mambo sana.
Wanafanya advocacy na sensitization. Uzumana ni terminology tu. Ni advocacy na sensitization. As we speak here, naongea kuhusu security na climate. See, we had such a topic. Yeah. So you see these things marry each other, right? It's just that it is a terminology. It's the terminology that tunaelewa nini na endelea sio?
Mimi nimeenda mingi, lakini ya research ilikuwa ya Gachagua. Kulikuwa na moja ni kuongoa infrastructure ya barabara, so tuliatendio kuongelelea kuhusu barabara venye zinafaa kuna naona sasa hivi kuna changes zina wengine wetu tulilia ndio tulipoteza hata spaces za kuuza, but for me at least change inakuwa kwa sababu sometimes I use my tricycle na kupita sengine kwa sababu inakuwa ngumu kwa sababu watu wanakonga wengi na kuna njia nzuri. But sasa inaona since then barabara ina safishwa so and then mitaro pia nimeona zimetengenezwa after tulifanyia public participation, so at least kuna progress hapo. And the other one we did was two-third gender. Actually we met with Daisy. This is part of the meeting. Yeah, so we had the meeting with her in the committee. When we were speaking about two-third gender. I don't know penye imefikia saizi because we were asking. We always talk about women, sana. So we are women, but we are women with disability. So hapo wakiweka hiyo 5%, sisi wanawake walemavu kwa sababu tunapoteza hapo katikati. How many percentage do we get as women with disability. So yeah, she gave us some insights also to kuturekebisha in things that we had weka kwa memorandum, and tulienda tukabadilisha and then tukaleta things. So we are waiting for the response.
Wow, can you clap for us? Have you had memorandum? So, Umana, these are the processes that I want us to understand. So, as we discuss this, it doesn't conclude, conclusively cover our topic if we don't talk about the laws that we have, right? So in Nairobi County, because I have realized so many of us are from Nairobi County, online is where we have people from different counties. So within Nairobi, which climate laws, bylaws, the policies have they interacted with? You know? Because we can I usually say the laws are our business, right? Because we are governed by those laws. So if we don't pay attention to them, then we remain ignorant. And ignorance is not a form of defense. We do understand that. Ignorance is not a form of defense. So as we facilitate dialogue, as we talk, can we know where we are at as a people and as a community? Tuko wapi? Tunaelewa. So hizi policies zikiletwa, tuki public participate. Unakwamba umesoma hiyo kitu? Unakwamba umeipitia kweli? Ama unaendanga alafu huko katikati unasikia mtu amesema na wanasema hivi. Na labda hata ni uongo. Umeona? Tunaielewanga na kama hatuelewi, which are the fronts that we can use ku get hii knowledge ama kupata kuelewa. Unaona? Kama hizo shall, will, unaona? Hizo terminologies, they actually change the context of our law, right? Shall, mandatory, will. Umeona? They change. Umeona? So ni laws gani tuna interact nazo kwa community zetu? Na hizi laws kama venye teacher amesema, she knows how to write a memorandum. How many of us know ama understand what a memorandum is? Umeona? So these are things as we discuss, it is good that we have the kitchen gardens. It is good that we are making change, we are doing recycling. Nimeona kuna watu wa Usafi Initiative who I know do a lot of cleaning up, right? Nimeona tunafunzana. Najua kuna wenye wako na Tatemo kitchen garden, but then hizi sheria zenye zinakuja ama hizi sheria zenye zinaformulatiwa, do we understand them? And if we don't understand them, which are the avenues we can use to understand them? Sawa sawa? So hizi ni vitu zenye naweza taka after lunch tukuje to interact nazo. I want to know where you're at. Watu wenye naona you're very knowledgeable in it, can you get a friend? And wewe mwenye labda huja interact nayo ama hujasikia kitu kuihusu, can you find someone? Can we have a conversation around that? Because that is very important. Our policies, our laws are very important for where we're going, right? Unaona watu walisema we reject the finance bill. Ulijua finance bill ilikuwa nini? Ama ni fununu tu zilikuwa zinakukuta. Ulikuwa unakuta unasikia wamesema unashtuka. Na tuende, ama ulikuwa unafurahia tu the joyriding ya kukuta CBD, you know? It is good that we have the comprehension of our laws. And as we have the conversation around climate, there are a lot of policies zenye zinapitishwa around climate that we ought to know. Ni lazima uzijue, si ndio? Kama wewe ni wa areas za Isiolo where you have pastoralists, do you know kuna rangeland policy that is going to be passed? How is it going to affect you? What are you supposed to do? Kabla ipite right now before it passes, what can you do to assist yourself? And if not yourself, to assist your children, si ndio? Ndio kuna sheria, kuna new policies za mbegu. Do you understand them? Do you know what that means? Ikipita kwako, unaona? So these are some of the things that I think are very important. As we have the dialogue, I know everyone here is a climate champion one way or another. Labda hata ujui wewe ni climate champion, but you are a climate champion. Hiyo gardening yako, hiyo unachukuanga chupa, una recycle, unaosha, unauza, that is climate championship, right? Wewe unajua there's a change you're making. Nimesema hata hapa, mwenye unachukua karatasi yako ya sweet ama ya maji unaweka kando, that is amazing. That you have started with yourself, right? So yes, so as we discuss, I want to know where we are at. with knowledge around policies, how we are participating, how we are interacting with them, how we can make it easier for you to understand, comprehend, and interact with your laws. Simple. These policies, they will affect you. Say what you tell me, you need to pay 100,000. I'm not saying that's what, this is an example. This is something I'm creating, this is a pure example. So if they say you have to pay a certain amount of money to be able to plant, do you fall under the category of people who can afford that amount of money? If the answer is no, shouldn't you have interacted with that law, pilot, and try and rally others? So if you understand, you go tell people within, sababu unajua kama wewe unauza mboga, unajua watu wengine wanauza mboga, unawaambia wewe na kajua amesema tutakuwa tunalipa 2,000 kila wiki. Tutaweza. So you sensitize the others. So I've told you, hiyo kitu yako, I have known, so I am sensitizing. That is already advocacy work. And that is what we are here to do as a community, to protect our community and to grow our community. So as we come back from lunch, I've touched on what we will do. We come back to that.
Niongeze hiyo moja, niliona community wanateka advantage. Hii kazi mtaani yenye iko sahihi. Mama anakuja tu na takataka, mahali kazi mtaani wamefagia vizuri, wametoa. Anakuja na mwaga chini. Wanamuuliza, "Hey mama, mbona unamwaga takataka hapo? Ati nikikosa kumwaga, hautapata kazi ya kufanya."
You see, now, you see, these are real life scenarios that are happening to us na zenye tunasemea hapa. So you see, like we've said, umekula switi, umetupa hiyo karatasi chini. So sisi wote tukitupa hiyo, what does this turn into? Unaona? So it starts. So if you see me dropping a piece of paper, can you ask me, madam? Put your karatasi yako, pick after. Because if we all did that, if we all picked after ourselves, if we all were very observant and very careful with our environment, do you think we will be where we are at? Kama wewe ungefungulia sewage yako kukinyesha, landlord wenu anafunguanga, na mnajua anafunguanga. Lakini kwa sababu haulipishwi, hiyo sewage wewe ungeaje? Bora mimi achukue bibi yangu. You see? So it has to be start with self, and then, just like she said, this place is, you also want to live in a clean environment. The diseases that in a chipuka that are affecting us as a community, so that is why I want us to deal with. Pia mtu akifanya hivyo, which laws do you use to hold them accountable? Because that is very retrogressive, see? So yes, so no wonder I want us to interact with the laws, policies. I want to create an understanding. Nataka wewe ukikutana na hii policy usikie inapitishwa, ni wapi unaweza enda uulize mtu maswali na upate kusaidika, si ndio? Unaona the way we did with the finance bill, people went out in different languages wakaongea, so people did advocacy and sensitization within their communities. That is what we should be championing for, si ndio? So that is the conversation I want us to have after this. Naona kuna wenye wameboeka, sheria inakuanga hivyo. But yes, I'm just joking. But yes, hiyo ndio kitu yenye nataka tufanye after lunch. Any other thing? Because it's a dialogue.
Mimi nataka kuongea lunch.
Unataka kuongea lunch? Any other thing? Akituombea lunch? Edwin. As Edwin prays for lunch, any other thing that you think we should cover? Any other thing? Huh? So I also, I also know that with disability, there are different, there's so many. There are so many. You will see someone very healthy standing still, but they also have a disability. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be mental. So I would also want to understand how we are handling that. Right? Yes. Sawa? So yes, let's give Edwin a chance to pray for lunch.
Realize tumekuja hapa sana, mikutano mingi, sijasikia tuombea lunch manze. So mimi niko na I should not take that for granted. So Heavenly Father, thank you for this juncture. We thank you for the Crown Trust, and we thank you for everyone who is here and for his or her health. Because now is another important time, Lord, we are going to take our land. May you bless each, my God, and may you bless each and everyone. And we shall thank you and applaud you for your mighty name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Uses my phone. I couldn't use a phone. I had to learn how to use a phone. She is now well versed with technology, and to separate ourselves from technology and say, I'm not going to be on certain platforms because of certain reasons, yet these are what are pushing our brands as artists, I think would work negatively for you. So pushing your brand via content creation on social media platforms, on websites, that is what is pushing your brand, your name, your work to get your name out there and to even show your work and get you more clients.
Yeah, if I could go next. I have been in the content creation world for about 3 years now. So I could call myself a newbie. Well, if I am to compare myself with somebody like Njugush, who's one of the pioneers of the digital space and influencing as we know it. But before I was a content creator, I was actually a TV and film producer, producing some of the best shows, wachani ringe kidogo, that we have in this country. I don't know if anyone of you ever watched Makutano Junction. That was airing on Citizen. There's also another show on Citizen TV called Shamba Shape Up, Yoni ya Wakulima. So those are some of the shows I was producing for about 10 years. So miaka iko ni vile mejificha hapa kwa magoti. And so I've had the privilege of being both on TV and now on digital and experiencing the differences between the two worlds. So to answer your question, Angela, on why it is important to be on the digital space, I would phrase it like this. So we all know the old media, that's what we call it now, like doing TV commercials, billboards, advertising on billboards. But I have a question for you. For anyone who's ever done advertisement on maybe say a billboard, how are you able to tell how many people have seen that billboard? Yeah? It's a bit difficult to tell, right? But if you come to Njugush and say you have a product or a service that you want to advertise with Njugush, it is very possible to know exactly how many people watched got to watch that particular video that advertised the particular product or service. It's very possible to know how many people actually got to see, because there is we have the views uko kwa backend ya Instagram. For example, when we are doing our reports, because we always do reports for any client that we work with. So at the end of every campaign, I'm able to give you statistics, like proper statistics of this product or service that you advertised with Njugush. It got 100,000 people watched the particular clip. So we can say 100,000 people now know that this product or service exists, right? We can also go further into the report and tell you how many people that particular clip reached. Because there's views and then there's reach, meaning beyond the people who viewed the clip, kuna wengine wengi ilifikia. And it fikias all these other people because Njugush did a very funny video, and then you have like 100 or 200 people who shared that same video with so many other people. So why is it important to exist on the digital space? Because you're able to get data, like real-time data on this business of yours. If you're advertising, you're able to get the numbers. Yeah.
Amazing. I think in this age, I think when we started, it was not really that. And I think what helped, I know it's quite, I don't know how to say it, but COVID really helped in terms of digital, because that's when now everyone started, you want people to see. And I think the most important thing that digital has, or social media has been able to do, is to be able to focus on your target audience. Like for example, when you're paying for a TVC, you pay, yes, it's good you pay, but you're paying for everyone. So you don't know if it's to your target audience, but with digital, you're able to direct your advertising. So for example, if you're selling products for makeup and what have you, you know how to put it, you know who to, in case you want influencers, you know who to have, you'd have her for that purpose. So there is that one where you do your direct. This packaging in terms of content, let's say for example, it's something touching the youth, your product or service touches the youth, so you'll be able to use Sheng without fear. You'd go all out in ukiongea Sheng, and that will be it, because you're focusing to a particular group. Whereas for a TVC, you'd be tempted to do just a proper standard Swahili, because it goes to everyone. Two, the platforms themselves, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikToks, they have tools that enable you to market and to push your product. Like for example, if today you talked about, I want a white Adidas, for example, the next thing you realize is if you go to Instagram, you see a lot of adverts for the same shoe. So your phone, it's very powerful in the sense that the more content you consume, the more, like for example, if I consume a lot of fashion, like for example, I'm seeing today you're looking so beautiful. If I focus on,
thank you.
If you really focus on fashion, when I'm consuming content on Facebook or Instagram will always suggest similar posts. Like for example, if I'm watching a lot of these, they'll suggest that. So even when you're putting your money in Facebook and say, I want to boost my post, they'll ask you what kind of audience would you like that particular post to go to. So that way, even the platforms themselves, they enable you to market, and that's for a very, because you actually say how much you want to pay. Sometimes they ask you, do you want to pay for 2 days, or how much do you could 200, 400, 500. So it helps you, and especially for SMEs and people who don't really want to spend much on marketing but still make a lot of money, it still does that. 3 is it brings people who are interested with your product in connection to people who are selling that particular product. You could have a beautiful warehouse here with a lot of seats, but in the neighborhood, no one wants to buy some seats. But there's someone in Roiro, there's another person in Ngong who need these exact seats. So the only way to make them in one single virtual room is to put them on digital. So I think for me it's powerful. And fourth, it makes money. And I think if there's someone who is really a testament of how, because I was on telly, I used to make money, but if I was still on telly right now without digital, I don't think I'll be where I am now. Yeah. And it's because of that. There's a lot of money coming into digital, and everyone is jumping on it. So I think if you're not there, and also another beautiful thing about digital, it's not too late to start. Yes. Yeah, it doesn't matter you started how many years ago. It's when you're starting, as long as you have something. It's like a market. You are selling this, so people are going to come and choose. It's like, for example, a good example is when the set-top boxes came. You know, Kitambo, we used to watch only one particular station, yes, because they had money to have their signal all over. But now when the set-top box came, everyone is available. So even someone as crooked as Mackenzie was able to have a TV station. So it's what you have right now on digital is what people are coming to consume. So I think I beg to differ.
Okay.
Nitumie hiyo term. I beg to stop there.
Sawa. Charlton, do you have something to add?
I feel like everyone has touched on most of the things, but one thing I'll say is I feel like digital platforms have definitely bridged the gap between, like, I don't know whether I'm fitting Gen Z or millennial, but one of those. I feel like it's bridged the gap between me and the older generation. Like, one thing that surprises me is when my mom would show me, like, her friends have sent her a video of mine or so, and like they're laughing at it and they're sharing it, my friends, parents, everyone. So that really shocks me. And then it's also bridged the gap between a lot of businesses. You see, traditional marketing is maybe you'd have to watch like the news at 9 p.m. to know about something. You might have to be in a certain area handing out posters. But the good thing about digital platforms, your vision for your business could be just to sell in Kenya, but just because you've hired someone who's on digital platforms, someone in Rwanda could see it, someone in Tanzania, Nigeria, anywhere else. It really expands your business. So your vision might be just Kenya, and it could reach much further, and I feel like that's why digital platforms are good.
Okay. Thank you. Let's give him a round of applause. So I'm going to ask a question in two parts. The first part is about finding your voice. The second part is how to be authentic. So the first part, I want to address it to Judy and Charlton. So Charlton, perhaps you can go first. In a space where there's so many content creators of all kinds in every part of the world, and you've literally brought to life one of the things that we forget is that internet brings someone from Brazil to my page that didn't know I existed, right? So you're not just talking to a Kenyan audience at some point, you're talking to the global audience, and you're giving them the opportunity, or you're inviting them to see what maybe Kenya has to offer. So how do you find your voice? How do you identify your niche? And how, maybe while you answer that, talk about how you found your voice. You've been doing it for 3 years. How long have you been doing? Yeah, Charlton?
Since 2021, so 3 years almost.
Yeah. So talk to us about how you've been able to find your voice and what you can advise those who are trying to find their voice through their business, right? Yeah.
It came from, I started off, so I just on a plan to friend, and then they turned into videos. So only I was just out and seeing what's the most used, what's the most interaction, engagement, big audience would like to see, and then based off what I like to see, how direct content, because one thing I've realized about getting a loyal audience, you have to be your true self. You can't sell someone you're not, and then they meet you in person and So I feel like staying true to yourself and seeing what people respond to and resonate to is how I found my voice, and it's been going good so far, so yeah.
Good. Go on, Judy.
So maybe during introduction, I should have mentioned that I am a mother to a 14-year-old daughter who actually just got home today from high school. She joined Form 1 this year, so says ngoja tumalize hapa niende home too. I just go and chill with her. I'm so excited that she's home. This is the longest she's been away from home. But the reason why I'm mentioning I'm a mother, because that is how my content creation journey started. So in every space that you've found ourselves in, especially my daughter and I, there's always this question that people ask, "Ay, huyo ni mama yako kweli?" Because we tend to be like the youngest parents, in whether it's since she started school, nini. So I realized I was a mom who was trying to figure out this motherhood thing, like we all do. They say there's no manual, so we are all trying to figure out this motherhood journey. And I started posting on my stories. That was I would say in 2021, kidogo too. Like just me and her having conversations on Instagram via stories. Like we would be talking about, say what, she's found a tampon in my bedroom, and now she's curious. She was about maybe 10 then, So of course, by that age, she's now becoming a bit curious. Of course, she's now growing, kidogo kidogo, oh, boobs are coming out, nini. There are so many questions around what is happening at that particular stage. So what happened is I would post these conversations about me and my daughter on social media. And then the conversations just started blowing up, because there are so many moms who are going through the same. And they happen to be having the same conversations with their daughters, but the difference is Mumbus is very open. Her name is Mumbus, my daughter. Mumbus is very open to talking about what she's feeling, what she's experiencing, which was not unlike the moms with daughters of the same age. So I would say my journey started out as just a curious mom, sharing her stories and hoping to learn from fellow moms. Like sasa nikikuja niulizwe story ya menstruation, nijibu aje? Because then we talk about those things and then fellow moms would share. And for me, I would say, I think the fact that it was a very authentic conversation. I was able to find myself in a space that most of these conversations don't happen. Because I realized the first time I actually posted a longer video of our conversations on Instagram, and the conversation was about my daughter is 10 years old and she has started her periods. That video blew up, but the feedback was, oh my God, thank you, Mama Mumbus. Like, I am struggling to understand how to start this conversation with my daughter. So I would say for me, how I found my voice on the digital space, whereby we have so many creators, and especially now, would be because the conversations that I was having were very true to me. They're actually very authentic stories, and stories that most of us as women relate to. Yeah. So I would say authenticity is is very big. Like if you want to create content for a long time, you really have to be authentic. Like huwezi copy paste. Huwezi sema Judy anaongelea juu ya motherhood hata mimi wacha nijaribu. It has to be something that you're experiencing and maybe a journey that you are on and you're sharing your very authentic experiences. So for me, I would say that. And also to add, maybe just one point. They say there's only one of you in this world. Like you're unique by yourself. So if you get to understand that thing that makes you unique, you will stand out. Out of 1 billion people, tutakujua.
Yeah. Your fingerprints remind you that every day. I've left Njugush and Abigail to answer this question because, first of all, Abigail, please share a little bit about your makeup journey, right? So there's an element about what Abigail does in terms of makeup that I will leave for her. I think it will be more interesting if she reveals. And how maybe that has helped you find your space and your voice, because there's now so many makeup artists in Kenya, and now they're also going global. They go to New York Fashion Week. So, makeup has changed. And then Njugush, for you, I guess, from mass media, multimedia, media, TV, the 5 stations, to DSTV, to now you just take the phone and you create your own channel, right? So how have you been able to transition from that, and what was the clicking point? Because you said it earlier, you begin to realize that actually you can make more money in the digital media. So maybe you can share with us that clicking point where you were like, actually, if I gave as much effort to using this digital media, it can actually give me the bread and butter that I'm looking for more than focusing on TV. So I'll let Abigail first tell us a little bit more about her makeup journey.
My makeup journey is not the normal conventional one. Most people go to beauty school or begin working in the beauty industry. Mine was different. I got employed at a morgue. And at the morgue, during the COVID period, we had a lot of clients bringing in their loved ones. And it took me so long to get used to this work environment because specifically this particular morgue where I was attached to, the admin was not separate from dealing with, I know my story is morbid, but the admin was not separate from dealing with the clients and the clients' needs and their loved ones' remains. So in all that, these people would come in and like, you look so good. Can you do that on mom? Can you do that on dad? Can you fix his lips? Can you do that? So I was like, why? I have to psych myself to do that. I remember the first time I did it, I held my breath, and then I continued to do it, and that's where I learned my skill. How to do eyebrows, how to blend, how to plait hair, putting wigs, blending wigs, laces. Oh, I put my lashes on my mom this morning, and she was like, you did it so fast. I'm like, I practiced. I practice on a weekly basis. I make sure I practice. So in as much as I did enter this industry from an avenue that's not as conventional, there are opportunities for youth to come in, especially ladies, because that industry is into reaching makeup and the loved ones. So from there, now here with us, with work that to make the work. You know, some artists find their work designed, it's just to for there's and see them good more close with the business touch that of able even to these people that losing teaching them and give them with yeah.
I don't get it just to myself.
Especially this we should all go sit down. Thank you so much. We knew that we planned business. Not farming my we didn't have my mom don't tell me doing anything so she beans and and such story of how somebody is been playing his field. And I think from that has been of your talk about us, right? It's so for me it's because it's lack of for me we were working at the time. The owner of production felt like it's interesting. I was with the husband. He's the one who brought me into the industry. He's quite old. It's called Abel Mutua. Yeah, he's 38.
age mate.
Yeah, so, but we always say he's 45. So when we were together, the producer thought, you know, the era of TV then, it used to be you have to kneel down to someone to get a role. You have to be under someone, I need a role. And you know, if they say they are, and even we reached to a point where we needed to be added for something, because the salary, and I'll put it into perspective because it will make sense why I am always advocating for digital. So during TV, when we were doing the Real Houses, most of you knew me in the Real Houses of Kawangware. I was very skinny, and it's because we were being paid, I think it was 7,000 per episode. So that meant at the end of the month, this is just for perspective. So at the end of the month, you're paid 28 because we did 4 episodes in a month. So you're paid 28,000. So I'm a big name with 28,000 in my account.
After tax?
Before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before. And we are lucky then we didn't have this gap. Anyway, story for another day. Because ningeenda nyumbani na 5,000. Now, 28,000 1 month for TV. So we did that, no complaining, but we were saying, would you please add? But now at that time, TV and mass media wasn't working that way in terms of making money. They were not making as much money to be able to add everyone a salary. So with time, it was not sustainable. Abel Mutua left. And then I was like, because he's the one who brought me in this industry, I'm also leaving. I thought he had something planned out. Kumbe he didn't have anything. So we were 2 broke guys in Nairobi just hanging. So by then she was working, they were supporting us, my wife was working, so we were being supported by our wives, but no one knew. Yeah, so they always kept it on the house, yeah?
Let's clap for the wives kwanza.
Yeah. So they were supporting us. I remember there's a time Celestine sent me 70 shillings. I was at Standard Media, KTN. So she sent me 70 bob on M-Pesa. So do you know how hard it is to withdraw? Because the question you ask is, how I have 70 shillings, how much can I withdraw? Because there is the withdrawal charges. Now all this is perspective. So we moved from that, and then we stayed home, and then Celestine realized I was writing a lot of scripts, and then she asked me, where are you going to take all those scripts? Can't you do it? Take your phone and record. And that's the beauty of online. You don't have to have cameras and whatnot and lights, just a phone, and you're good to go. So we started with the phone. So I was like, huyu ananifanyisha kazi gani? So I'll be in the streets recording. Men are like, we expect cameras, not phones. So we recorded, and then we did like for 2 weeks. Then something happened. Someone reached out. I remember that company, the company Up to Date, and asked, can we put our product in your videos and then we pay you? I was like, why are you paying me na ini Instagram? No, they're like, we'll pay you. Then Celestine tuko naye hapa after our wedding, tulikuwa tumesota, we didn't have anything. So we're just chilling, and then the call comes, and then he asked me, how much are you going to charge? So I told the guy, he's called Paul. I told the guy, let me connect you to my manager. My manager at that time is sitting right beside me. And I cut the phone, I gave her, called Paul, and Paul asked, how much are you going to? By then, we were in arrears, rent arrears for 50,000. So when she called Paul, and Paul asked, how much are you going to charge? She said, 50,000, according to our needs. So, and Paul was like, okay, go ahead. So how many videos? I'm like, are you going to really give us 50,000? Because I'm shooting with my phone, and he understands I'm going to shoot with my phone. I'm posting on my Instagram. By then I had 20,000 followers, and he's ready to give us. In fact, to show us how ready he was, he sent, I think, 10,000 upfront. So 10,000 for 1 episode. On telly I was being paid 7,000. For this guy, he's decided for the first clip, 10,000 he's already sent. So I asked myself, I have 20,000 followers. He's willing to give me 10,000. What if I had 1 million and did like 100 videos? So that's where everything changed. So unfortunately, this guy didn't give us the balance. I know. We posted a lot of videos, even we did surplus. And we ate the 10,000, and this is a mistake we did. Instead of paying rent, we ate the 10,000, because also, you know, poverty, when you stay for a long time without something, and then you get, We went and ate chicken, full chicken, at OJ at Bypass. So he never paid us the deposit. However, that I asked her if he was willing to give us the 10,000, even for one video. That's money I wouldn't even make for one episode. Yeah. And for one episode, we used to shoot 2 to 3 days. And this clip, I just used some few minutes, and that's it, 10,000 in the pocket. Something else, so that kicked. The other thing is, she used to record my videos. So, and I've had mommies here. I've had, who is recording your videos? Yeah, the mom is here. So something so beautiful about digital, you don't need to have, you know, a company to have ABCD. You are your own production house. Yeah. So you have a friend, you have, like for example, my wife is the one who, even to date, when I have something funny, I'm like, chukua camera. That is the phone. It's zero in terms of investment. It's what you have. No one, and another thing we care about, actually don't have a good camera phone. No one cares about your camera phone. Actually, you don't even know you're using an Infinix. I'm sorry for the guys who are using Infinix. Because if you realize a lot of videos that go viral and photos, they're not the clearest of videos. Because what people are interested in is the content. The content is what, so, and now this brings me, I'm sorry, this is the last comment, and then I'll beg to differ. If there's something digital has taught us, there is no standard form of content. You know, for TV tulikuwa, there is news, then there is a soap opera, then there is kidogo Kenyan content, there's cartoon. Yes. It is standard, you can't do anything.
Yes.
If today you go to social media, you'll find someone cooking, na anapika hata chakula hazina kule ziko, yani just cooking. And people are interested in that.
It's Lando.
Exactly. And you'll find someone else who is doing farm content. He is planting season, and people are going to watch. The other time, I saw a very beautiful, I wish I can remember the handle. It's a group of 4 guys who have Down syndrome. And what these guys do, they have Down syndrome. So in an ordinary newsroom, in an ordinary media house, they wouldn't get a space. Because they'll be deemed as they are slow, people are not going to watch. But for the Down, actually it's called something Get Down With, because they are cooking. So it's called Get Down With. There are 3 guys who do cooking, might not be full-blown cooking, but you'll watch. They have views, millions of views on every video they post, because people are looking for that particular content. So this is my point as I finish. Whatever you're doing is what everyone is looking for. Problem is, I want to be like Njugush. I want to have content like a Muzungu fulani from somewhere. People are looking for that where you are. Yeah. And the beauty about digital is wherever you are is where they'll consume it. Yeah. So if you, like for example, if I'd come up with where I'll just be milking cows, people will watch. Yeah. Today, manze, today you did, you milk a black cow, tomorrow do a brown one. It's so interesting, people will watch. You'd go to YouTube and watch a video, but this is absurd, but there's a video of how to sit down. Yeah, and people will watch. It's crazy how digital have changed everything. So if you can take advantage when it comes to biashara, because people also are looking, what you're selling is what someone is looking for. And again, I beg to differ. I'll stop there.
I love that. Actually, let's give a round of applause to all of them. So you've done a perfect segue for me. And this is to Charlton. So each of you, I'm going to ask you a specific question about what you've asked, because it's something I want to drive out from your story. So you said whatever phone you have, use it and work with what you have. There's so many digital spaces. Charlton, talk to us why you've chosen TikTok as a space that works for you, and for those who want to explore that, why they should consider that.
I chose TikTok because I feel like, since I'm kind of I'd say a newcomer, like obviously Njugush, Abigail, Judy, I feel like they've been doing been on digital platforms longer than me. So when I first started off, I wanted a space where my videos could go viral, like without many followers, because the good thing about TikTok, someone with 100 followers could get 1 million views on a video.
Absolutely.
Someone with many followers could get 200 views. The algorithm they push anyone's content. And for me at the time, someone who was trying to get followers quickly, get views, TikTok just worked for me at the time. And also, I feel like it allowed me to because the thing about my content, I feel like I'm just myself. Even I have a campaign next month with Visa, the credit card guys. And the content, what they told me was to just do what I do. Like my content doesn't have an exact niche. Parents could relate to it, teenagers, children, anyone. And yeah, I feel like the beauty of TikTok just allowed me to be myself. And yeah, that's why I love it.
Is there a reason, for those who want to use that TikTok, what can you advise for them to think about when they're creating videos, even images? I know now TikTok is trying to push images a lot more than they used to push videos. Long form with the new trends that are happening.
I feel like if you do want to join TikTok, you're gonna have to put the thing about trends come and go, like every week. You're gonna have to pay attention to what's being pushed, because they push different videos at different times. Like TikTok used to be a dancing app where it's 6 seconds of people dancing. Yep. They recently had a feud with a musical group, so a lot of music has been taken off. So now it's becoming more of like a storytelling app, similar to what like YouTube is. I'd also say don't pay attention to what other people have to say, because the thing about TikTok also, people's accounts don't have their names on them. People are really anonymous on there. So someone could comment something negative under your video and it could be Njugush. It's just, he doesn't want to see me do, not that it's Njugush, but someone doesn't want to see me do well. It's anonymous. So one thing I go by, a quote I go by is, I had a purpose before everyone had an opinion. So you really just need to focus and block out the noise of what everyone else has to say, because if you feel like you're working in your purpose with your business, whether it's not doing good now or later, if you feel like that's what God chose for you to do, then nothing's gonna stop that. It's inevitable,
Oh, I love that.
So yeah.
Can I get an amen? And this is, so this is a question to Judy, because you talked about how the way you found yourself in content creation was because of motherhood. But what it made me think is maybe you are also trying to find a community that understands you in a way that maybe you can't really talk to perhaps the people that are around you. So you wanted to find a community maybe that are on the same boat or share in order to connect with other people on the same boat. So in terms of, and all of you have touched on it on one point or another, is to get honest followership, you have to be authentic. So how do you build your digital community? What are the techniques that you've used that you find are most effective in fostering that interaction? Because there's one thing having 20,000 followers, and there's another thing having 20,000 followers and 100 views. There's a disconnect. Yeah.
I would say, I would probably just go back to the point I had mentioned earlier. I would say consistency is the thing that will give you traction and will help you build an audience. Because when you a particular subject for an reply, that's what I'm talking about. Since that I continue sharing my journey through relations of maybe the content we were that's in very hard authentic to deeply is just you these things that
just before the question to that you just with me at the great private, so you decided going to just
content so how had with the best performing in the it's so I'm going to grab my husband side of the game, babe, your package to like in the long how so we by the way for business game I teach them like how they and I thought is very maybe how
Give it.
If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, stand up. If you're happy and you know, stand up. If you're happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know, stand up. Inshallah na tujaanza mkutano. Salma. Yeah. Salma. Yeah. If you're happy and you know, stand up. If you're happy and you know, stand up. If you're happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know, stand up. If you're happy and you know, high five. If you're happy and you know, high five. If you're happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know, high five. If you're happy and you know, say your name. If you're happy and you know, say your name. If you're happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you're happy and you know, say your name. Good afternoon. I said say your name. I did not say you say your name. Concept. I sit down. Thank you so much, guys. We have really amazing timekeepers. There are guys who have kept time. Kuanzia asubuhi, kwenda break time, na kuja lunch time. Na kuna mtu amechelewa throughout. Kutoka asubuhi, amechelewa. After break, amechelewa. Na hata saa hii, amechelewa. Do you have a neighbor? Is your neighbor here already? Yes. Nani neighbor wake hayuko? Where is your neighbor? She's oh, at least amehama. Mnajuana hiyo? Everyone has their neighbor? Thank you so much. So I'll be passing around two lists for you to sign. Sawa, make sure you sign. Tafadhali give me your correct contact number. Sije nipigie baadaye. So makinika kidogo, naona kuna already naona usingizi. I don't know how I'll help you. Ukisikia kulala sana unasimama, it's okay to stand up and stretch a bit. Yes, thank you so much, Pia, for coming back. So I'm looking forward to an interactive session. As we had said before lunch, we will be discussing matters policy. So that's due to discuss policy na mbalala. How do we stay awake? I need suggestions. How do we stay awake? Kuna sweet. So I asked for more sweet? Yes. What else? Water. Unamwamsha. Na kama mnalala. Unasikia? Kuna mtu amesema be your brother's keeper, muamshe. Haya, what else? Mtu ameitisha sweet. How else? Amesema they need more sweet. Ah, very nice. Unasikia? They want to dance. Okay. Na hiyo kuje, nilikuwa nimekunyanyasa na njaa. Nimekukandamiza. Na hiyo taita pole sana. So thank you so much. Haya, so we are discussing matters policy. Nani ameongelesha jirani wake akasikia tulikuwa tunasosi tu? Because we are saying we will talk to, if there is something kama Chichi told us about memorandums. What else? Is there anything new you've come back with? Kuna wenye niliona you formed a group hapa chini. Capacity building. Kama unajua umbea is healthy. It's very healthy. It is a way, I actually think it's a tool for women to keep each other safe. True or false? Sure. I only think people who villainize gossip kama umbea are not benefactors of it, but as women we are benefactors, right? Jamani, wanashika watoto.
Ushajua ufiche wako na wewe pia ujifiche, right? Ule mama anapenda, right? It's not bad, it's community keeping each other safe. So thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for staying awake. And I am speaking over you. Stay awake. So we are going to discuss policies. We are going to cover policies. Please, whatever you have in mind and whatever you think about, it is very important in this conversation. We say that every voice matters. Every voice, your sauti yako matters. Your voice is your power. And if we speak in a common voice, it's easier, we achieve our goals easier and faster, right? Let's, how do we welcome? Who wants to welcome our facilitator? Our very beautiful and any attack on Karibisha? Jamani, come on, wake up. Any attack on Karibisha? Haya, kila mtu asimame. Haya, kila mtu asimame. Sasa nataka kuona mikono juu. Tunataka kukaribisha Anne, mikono juu. Sasa tunataka kumwekea maua ya red, ya blue, changanya yote ya yellow, ya green, ya yellow, ya red. Haya, tumwangushie moja, ingine, ya pili. Karibu sana. Tumechangamka. Awesome, hapa tuwezekana. Kasi yako kweli watu kulala? Kama konzi? Hakuna kulala. Sawa bibi? Decorate? Hakuna kulala, sawa. So, thank you so much, Willie, for that presentation. Now, nataka tuangalie key messages to policy makers. Si tumesema sisi wote tuna participate, public participation. At least 99% of all the participants hapa, at least to attend 1 or 2 sessions. Sawa. Now, the key messages za kupelekea policy makers, and even before we start, who are these policy makers? Who are the policy makers? Answer ikuwa nainua mkono. Okay. First, the government, followed by lawmakers, advocates, advocates, let us appreciate her. Wale tuliattend public participation, tulipatana na kina nani huko?
We have ward administrators, we have county and sub-county administrators, we have the chiefs, we have the community. So kuna zile policies, they are directly to the government, and those policies that are communal. Communal means it is us that are making those policies. Yeah.
Awesome. In short, let us appreciate her. In short, what we are saying, tukikaa hapa tunyamaze, we are all doing amazing work kwa mtaa. Ukweli uongo. Lakini tukikaa tunyamaze, tukiitwa tuitiki, tutasikika kweli? Sheria zikitengenezwa zitakuwa aje? Hazitafanya kazi because sauti yetu haiko hapo. Sawa. So I want us first to look at the advocacy priorities. Tukitoka kwa hii mkutano leo tuko tunasema sasa zile tulienda mkutano ile tuliitwa na Crown Trust wakiwa na kina mama wa Afrika. These are the advocacy priorities zile tuliset, all right? And also tukishakubaliana hapa, we trickle the same information hapo ndani mtaani. Sawa. So each and every one of us andika yako. Uliza jirani yako wewe unaandika gani? I want to give each and every one of us a minute. Before lunch, si tumeongea hiyo maneno? Andika hapo. the advocacy priorities. Asubuhi tulisema who is a feminist? Asubuhi tulisema who is a feminist? You. Who are you?
For the rights of women.
Oh, is a person who advocates and champions for the rights of women.
Great. Na sasa hapa tukiongea mambo ya climate change, tutajiita aje?
Climate champions.
A climate change champion, na project yetu tunasema we are all the green champions for change project. Sawa? Now, in line with our project, what are some of the advocacy priorities we feel? Enyewe hii, tukitilia mkazo hapa, tunaenda kuona mabadiliko. Tuko pamoja? Haya, andika hapo. Wale wenye watu watiki pia ni sawa, tuna store hapo kwa akili, utatuelezea. Each and every one of us has a priority in unafeel. Tukianza asubuhi tulisema every opinion counts. Ama namna gani? Great, I can see we are done, So I want us to share those advocacy priorities that you feel. Enyewe hii tukiweka mkazo, the Green Champions for Change project itakuwa na tofauti. I'm coming here, naanza hapo. Naona wengine bado wanaendelea kuandika, kuna wale wamemaliza. Sawa, tunaanza hapa mbele. Let us appreciate him, to appreciate. Awesome.
For me, the advocacy priority that I would like to see some changes is employment for persons with disability, because most of the time, persons with disabilities do not get opportunities. For example, if my leg has broken, if I'm a deaf person, I need a sign language interpreter because I need that interpreter for communication. And again, at times we don't have those jobs, so life becomes very difficult. But most companies do not trust us because they always feel like if a person has a disability, they are just coming to beg, like they can't do anything. So that is one area we would like you to pick up.
Thank you very much. Let us appreciate him. Tumesikia vile amesema kitu ya kusema hapo. In line with what he has said. Okay. All right. Okay.
Actually, ameongea kuhusu hapo kwa katika hapa inclusivity. So, in line with what he was saying about employment, also in business sector and also infrastructure, na pia public participation yenyewe iko inclusive. Kwa sababu most of the time, if public participation is, kama sasa hivi nasoma hapa naona kuna public participation kesho, na naiona sasa hata sijui tutaenda kuongelea nini. Tukienda mostly na kwamba iko ghorofa, first hiyo iko na challenge watu wenye wako na wheelchair, hata mimi sengine napata challenge ya kupanda stairs. Sengine na kwa juu, and then hakunanga sign language interpreter. Kwa hizo and we've been making this all time tukienda. Kuna ingine tulienda na kina Pasari ndio walikuwa wamesimamia, tulisimamisha hiyo mkutano. Tukamwambia kuna kitu chenye tutadiscuss mpaka walete sign language interpreter hapo. And they did. Kuna wengine mpaka katafuta. So I think the key advocate for me itakuwa inclusivity in terms of the information kufikia watu on time so that they have a good time to go through the document, and also they can get the time also to realize the key things that they would like to add. The second will be your inclusivity, so that to make sure that the public participation when it happens, it's inclusive. All persons with disability, elderly people, youth, women and men can attend. Hata watoto, because hata watoto pia sio they also have things to say. Yeah, so I think all that equal to inclusive. Yeah.
Wow, say wow. Thank you very much for that. And I really want to applaud Crown Trust. Sio maneno wameongea mnaiona inafanyika hapa. So it has started with them. So Winnie and your team, you have really done a fantastic work, and we can equally pick inclusivity from them. Tumeiona hapo sio? Awesome.
Okay, for me I will say implementation of Climate Act, because we do act tunaweka policies, but we do not do proper implementation in terms of hata zile ambazo tunaweka tunafaa kwenda kwa bunge zinateka while zikuwe implemented. So tunaona pia in terms of climate actions zinakuwa related because we do not do proper implementation, kwa sababu most of these acts kama like ile act ya right of quality air, it is an act but haichukuliwi, it is not fully accepted by community because hawaelewi nini inafaa kufanyika, all that right inakuwa aje. So it is high time I think nini Crown Trust inafaa kufanya access to information letters na tuletewe hawa watu wa serikali, because one thing that I know ni kwa hata even we do petitions ukitaka kupeleka pale City Hall unazungushwa sana, unaulizwa maswali, umetumwa na nani, umetoka wapi, kama ni kina nani wanawafanya. So it is high time we do access to information because our communities pia hawajui ile access to information. It is your right and it is within the constitution of Kenya. So I think next time when we are here, let us need to kuwa na watu wa City Hall, when as county government serikali kuwe hapa, then we will do way forward, because even now hata kuna wengine hapa wajui the meaning of petition. You can just write a petition upeleke pale kwa county secretary na ichukuliwe without being questioned ati umetoka wapi na unataka kufanya nini. So it is high time kama Crown Trust tukae chini tuelewane, our community is a need of civic education in terms of how to write the memorandum, how to implement, because even implementation kwa parliament tunaona ni only MPs ndio wana implement but the community hawakuwa involved. So vile ambavyo policies zilikuwa zimewekwa kwa community, acha zirudi kwa community so that we implement fully.
Let us appreciate her. Tumesikia tunaendelea vizuri. Yeah. I think what I really picked from her is that we need to do more sensitization kwa grao, ndio watu waone umuhimu. And I believe we are also going to, this whole thing is going to start with us as the community champions. I'm sure, leo ukiulizwa umetoka wapi, utasema aje? Ukiulizwa, the whole day tutakuona, you are very smart, umerudi jioni ulitoka asubuhi sana. Tutawaambiaje? Yes, I want to hear from you. Tumekubaliana with the community champions, right? Since morning we've been talking, we've been sensitization tumeanzia hapa. So utasema umetoka wapi?
Umetoka shule hapo
ameangusha bogi. Ukifika mtaani, what's the first thing that we want to hear? Thank you. Yes. Sasa tunangoja uongee mambo ya na tunajua kwa mtaa hawajui hiyo jina peke yake, lazima uelezee. Unataja nini nyingine? Utataja nini nyingine?
Lazima mimi nimetoka kwa media climate change.
Wow. Let us appreciate her. Tulienda kuona how we can mitigate the effects of climate change. Na tukaongea kuhusu nini nyingine?
To learn more about climate change, mazingira yetu ikuwe safi na tuelimishe community.
Awesome. Let us appreciate all of them kuelimisha community. And you can also agree with me that what Crown Trust is doing with VCA and akina mama wa Afrika already washaanza. Lakini wanaweza peke yao? Tumesema unataka watu wa gava wakuje and you're not doing your part. Wakikuja kweli kutakuwa na any change? Awesome. So the other thing is that nimeona hapo mambo ya climate act and even before the implementation there is something that we call a follow up. All right? I saw a number of you have been able to participate in making of policies. Nani ashai follow up atukulie? 1, 2, kufollow up. Ama 3. Nancy. Hebu tueleze kidogo.
Okay. For me, ile public participation tulikuwa pale Charter House, kulikuwa na policy making. Zilikuwa zinafanywa by I think was maybe last year by mwezi wa I think wa 10 ama 11 was ilikuwa ile document kwa ilikuwa act, but till today hatujaambiwa kitu yoyote. But I've been to City Hall like 4 times na nimepeleka petition ya ku make sure the climate act yenye ambayo tulikuwa tumeparticipate na zile stewed committees ambazo zilikuwa walikuwa elected kutoka kwa ward kumeenda aje, kama watu wamekuwa elected, kama tuko na au ward representatives kutoka kwa that stewed climate act. But unfortunately ukienda City Hall kudiliana na watu wa City Hall inakuwa ngumu. If you don't know someone mwenye ambaye anakujua, hautapata access to information, hautapata nini inaendelea. So you have to know someone. But for me, I'm always like resilient in what I do. Mimi kama hautanipatia, mimi I will always make noise. So nili make noise nikajipata kwa county secretary, which ilikuwa mzuri because alinipatia way forward na nini inafaa kufanyika kule Koto Dagoretti North, na mpaka sasa nini imekuwa. So far nimepata projects zenye ambazo zimekuwa hold on it because kwa zile pesa ambazo zilikuwa zimetengewa zile viwango za projects zifanywe za climate action zilikulika mahali, which hata zimekulika sijajua ni nani. So I think even though utafollow up kuna mahali kutakuwa na gap because ukienda beyond kuna kuwa being threatened or ama unafuatilia kwa sababu gani, who are you, nini unataka kufanya nayo. So even though you will be following up, kuna two mysteries ziko hapa katikati. That's why ndio nimesema watu wa City Hall the same wakikuwa wakuje tuulize directly nini inaendelea na City Hall.
All right, let us appreciate her. Thank you very much. Tumesikia? Uliza jirani yako wewe ulifanya nini? Uliza tu tena wewe ulifanya nini? Awajibu? Okay, wamekupea jibu gani basi? So really, you can hear like most of the participants are requesting that next time it will be nice if you invite the government officials, especially from the county government, because for sure we can hear clearly that kazi inafanyika kwa Kirao, lakini matokeo bado iko, lakini sio vile tunatarajia. Sawa. Can you share with us your experience?
Okay, ile follow-up tulifanya ya CIDP na ADP tulikuwa na public participation kwetu, ikawa kuna zile miradi tumepitisha walifanyia, na hiyo public participation tukawa na ubishi kidogo kwa sababu wenye hawakuja wakujua nini tulikuwa tumepitisha. Sasa ikawa tufuatilie mpaka City Hall, tukapata zile tulipitisha, barabara imetengenezwa, mahali takataka ilikuwa imewekwa katikati ya barabara, takataka imesogeshwa, barabara sasa iko kwa process ya kutengenezwa.
Wow, which constituency is that?
Dagoretti North.
Wow, let us appreciate her. Wow. Sasa I think we can over break time tuone Helen atuambie siri ni gani. Si tumesikia walifuatilia na kazi imefanyika. Yeah, so that is incredible. Thank you Helen for that. Okay, you have something to say?
Just wanted to changie kidogo. Niseme pia sisi tulikuwa na public participation, ilikuwa Karioko, na ilikuwa about implement about soko, but tulipofuatilia walienda wakadisaidi wacha Nairobi South Ward ipate soko, na soko tumeipata na inakuja kufunguliwa very soon na president.
Hey, show us your way, master. That is awesome, eh? Atuamini? Yeah. You want to hear more, right?
Yeah.
That is why this is a dialogue. Ama atuelezaji wapi walifanyaji. Sawa sawa. We are still looking at the advocacy priorities. I'm coming back there. Let's give her 30 more seconds.
Okay, hii ni soko tumekuwa tukifaitia sana, imekuwa imefanywa land grabbing, and South Pili pale pameonekana hapana soko for so long, na huku kwingine walikuwa na soko. So tulipoenda public participation, wakaona tu wacha South B ipate soko, because kura Kenya Urban Roads Authority ilikuwa imesema kila mtu atolewe kwa barabara, alafu tukadecide hapana, we have to fight for it. So tulipoenda public participation, tukasema give us, mtupatie soko, tuwapatie back your roads. Na hiyo ndio ilikuwa, na nini zote hizi kaunti zote zikakubali, si kaunti ward zote zikakubali, so ward 6 za Starehe wakasema sawa, Nairobi South Ward ipatiwe soko. Na very soon, hata tukimechelewa sana, maybe by next month the president is coming to open, kuekelea hiyo mawe next month.
Wow. Yeah? Thank you so much for that, Nancy.
Okay, I don't know if ni sisi watu wa Dagoretti North ama ni miaje. Because kitu moja ukienda kwa public participation, si kumaanisha utakubali na ile yote walileta kwa table ati mkubali. I remember there was a project ilikuwa proposed na one ward, because we have 5 wards. So one ward ilikuwa iliomba project ya ilikuwa ni ya kuku, waletewe kuku. I don't know if Dagoretti North mnakumbuka. So the project ikaletwa na ikapatiwa budget. Tukajiuliza ni kina nani walipropose that project, because tulikuwa hyper sana, because mpaka tulikuwa tunamuuliza nini sub county administrator, wewe ulikuja na that project ama ilikuwa ni sisi tumesema that project? Because if kama kuna budget ya kuku, mbona nani alitoa na nani alisubmit memorandum? So tulileta shida. Nakumbuka kulikuwa na mkubwa wa Nairobi County akatuambia, okay, if kama nyinyi hamkusema budget imetoka, please can you guys sit down muone ile project mnaweza fanya kwa hiyo 1 year, so that hiyo allocation ya budget isikuliwe. So I remember hiyo group tulisema at least acha tuanze na urban farming to champion for climate change and mitigations. Hiyo project irudi kwa civic education, watu wakuwe educated in terms of how we can manage the change of climate. I think hiyo project mpaka saizi iko, wamama, wababa na youth wanafundishwa. We are doing civic education round kwa kila ward na wanalipwa in every meeting. So in terms of that budget, I think ile yetu ilifanya pia tuonekane kwa nini tunataka kwa community yetu. So in every public participation, usiende tu ati kuenda umesikiza na utoke. Listen, ile budget ilitolewa, yani ilitolewa kitabu mko na kalamu ya kuandika hatuna. Tunataka kufanya nini? Tunataka tuletewe mwalimu atuwekee madawati, ndio niposa tuletewe vitabu. Yeah.
Wow. Incredible. Let us appreciate her. Dagoretti North wako nyuma pia. Walikuwa wamepelekwa vibaya sana. Walikuwa wamepeleka waje? So what can we learn from that? you do not only attend ama kwenda public participation kuonekana, maoni yako ni ya maana. Sawa sawa. So any other advocacy priority that you really feel in this project, Green Champions for Change, ni muhimu. Yes, huko mbele. Hiyo tuambie hiyo.
I think Chichi and Collins have already said everything. It was all about inclusion. Yeah. For me, I was also in that.
All right, let us appreciate her. Even as we are looking at this, I'm just trying to look at, we are talking about sensitization of policies. What are the some of the people that can help you or can help your policy equal affected? Si tunajua ziko huko mingi sana huko kwa county government. Nataka tuelimishane kidogo. What are the some of the people that can help you kuhakikisha ya kwamba mlienda public participation, mmepropose hivi na inakuwa affected?
Nitarudi tena kwa kama wodi yetu, ile kitu tunafanyanga cause mimi najua mwenye ana facilitate hizo public participation ni ward admin. Lakini hata ward admin akiwa hapo turudi mpaka mashinani kabisa. Tuseme kuna wazee wa vijiji, nyumba 10 initiative, kuna chief, kuna ACC, na kuna mayouth na village elders. So naweza nikasema hao wote wakiinvolviwa, because hata tukisema ward admin si kila mtu anajua ward admin wake ni nani, but tukiuliza kama juzi kulikuwa na registration ilikuwa inaendelea, na ukienda kwa registration ya kuregister watu ulikuwa unaulizwa mji wako ni nani, village elder wako ni nani. So kama unijui ulikuwa unaandikwa, so inabidi kushika down mpaka kwa mashinani, mzee wa kijiji, nyumba 10 initiative, chief, mkienda hivyo tu ndio tuelimishane tu.
Awesome. Please
Sorry.
repeat the question.
Nilikuwa naongezea kidogo. Pia vile amesema inclusivity, wafanyabiashara pia huwa wanakuwa included. Especially kama huko kwetu South B, tunaona wafanyabiashara wa aina wote. Kuna wale wafanyabiashara wa barabara, kuna hadi watu wa mkokoteni, kuna watu wa taxi, all departments ya watu wa biashara. Ukiwa include pamoja na youth, sasa kuna kila mtu anafikia participate. It's clear that you just include watu wengine na wacha nje. So everybody anakuwa inclusive.
Kama Friday, for example, tulifanya hiyo meeting ya watu wa biashara juu tuliona mazingira imekuwa chafu. Nikinunua nguo yangu ya ECD mpya, hizo makaratasi zote nikitoa manguo naikisha chini kwa mtaro. So ile drainage ina block. Nikichagua managu zangu, drainage ina block. So ilibidi tuitane hiyo fabric, tukaita chief, tukaita village elder, tukamit, tukaongeleshana, tukasema kuna mayouth wako na hizo ma CBO na walikuwa wameanzisha hiyo mambo ya garbage. Tukaona hao watu wa biashara waanze kulipa hao watu wa mayouth, at least garbage yake kukua mingi kwa drainage.
Wow, let us appreciate this team. Kuna wale naona very nimepotea kidogo. Tulikuwa tunasema we have seen some of the policies zimepita. Na sio kupita, zimekuwa affected. Ama namna gani? Na ndio tulikuwa tunaulizana what are the key people ama who are the key people that we should work with kuhakikisha ya kwamba hii project yetu ama hii policy yetu imesonga mbele. Tuko pamoja? Now, South B team walikuwa wanatuelezea how they have been working. Okay? And it is working for them. Are we together now? Great.
But mimi naweza sema kule kwetu You can work with the Bakumi, the chiefs, the elders, but if there's no goodwill ya yule ambaye aliyeko pale kwa ile ofisi kuanzia ward administrator and sub-county administrator, you can put as many as policies that mutaput kwa community, hazita work. The reason why I'm saying that, tuko na garbage Dagoretti North mbili ambayo ile mandate ya ku make sure that blockage kwa community yetu iko kwa ward admins, ku make sure that zile county lorries zinakuja ku collect zile garbage. Hiyo mandate iko na ward administrators ambao ni wa ward na wa sub county na wa county. But if kama huyo mfanyikazi ataletwa na ni wa serikali, hata kuwa na goodwill, bishwa kwa nyumba kumi, elders, the chiefs and the community, haitakuwa na nguvu ya kutimiza those policies, because wale ambao walika kwa hiyo ofisi wamechechemana kazi yao, hawaifanyi kazi yao vile ambavyo inapaswa. So I think if kama we are talking about policies, na lazima ziwork na ziwork vizuri, lazima kuwe na goodwill of those people that we have put kwa those offices na wanafaa kufanya kazi zao.
Yeah, okay. Acha mimi ni interrupt. I've had, you know, this is a dialogue, yeah? We are not here to listen to what already were talking. There are people really, I see where they're coming from, I hear them, they have represented where they are from very well. And the people have really not had speaking. I know you know something that is happening within your community, not the whole community, even from just the neighboring blocks hapo kwenu. There is something that is probably pleasing to you or very displeasing to you. Yani kitu yenye unaona inakufurahisha, ingine, those are the things that tunataka kusikia. Hizo ndio vitu tunataka kujua how we can navigate them. Kwa hivyo si terminology sawa sawa. It's not in the terminology, it's in the message. Sawa sawa. So please feel comfortable. Naona kuna wenye wamekaa na they are seriously writing notes. That's a good thing. But I need to hear your voice. I want you to be incorporated. It's okay, you're learning. Lakini hata labda ni terminology tu anatumia kubwa, lakini hiyo kitu yenye anasema pia wewe unaikusia. Hiyo ndio tunataka kusikia. Haiko kwa lugha, hata ukiweza you can speak in your native tongue and then we get someone to tell us what to just say. Sawa sawa? Ukiona jioni anaamka, mwambie neighbor, wake up.
Sawa, thank you really for that. Tunaendelea vizuri sawa. Sivyo? Now. Great. Let's hear from her. Let it be next.
Are we still on like people who will help us in making the policies? Okay, for me, I speak for persons with disability. Maybe in the community level, we have the CBOs and the groups for persons with disability. If the ward administrator anaongea na wenye wako kwa hizo CBOs, watakuwa able to filter out their challenges they wanafeel. Yakisi hata akienda kuongea na meeting yenye iko na policy makers, kuna ile visibility, anajua chenye anaongea na chenye anasema.
Let us appreciate her. Hapo pia amesisitiza ward admin, wangapi tunatoa ward administrators wetu? Kama tu hiki sawa. Unaona tuna mkono tu, si kwa ubaya. Oh God. Hakuna? Wangapi? Nataka hivi mnyoshe mkono sisi wote tuone. Okay, nani anajua ward administrator wake? Wamebadilisha mkono anamjua? Now that's a challenge. Sasa imagine bado hujajua ward admin na sub county officer. Okay, nani anajua sub county officer wake?
Wengi.
Sio wengi. Inua yako. Kama unajua wewe ni wangu. Imagine. Yeah? Only 5 people.
Shida ile iko. Tunakuta kuna sababu tofauti kwa mrao. Huyu ward admin, kuna wale watu ward admin anafanya nao kazi. Alafu kuna huyu MCA. Sasa unakuta community tofautishi kazi ya ward admin na MCA. Unakuta kazi ya MCA community inauliza ward admin. Na ward admin kazi anafaa fanya wanauliza MCA. Sasa hao wakiletwa au wa community kunaleta mtu fulani na kazi yake ni hii na hii na hii. Watu wengi wakija hawatofautisha hao watu.
Asante sana Helen. Swali langu ni tutawajibikaje? Tutajuaje? Tutawajuaje? Baraza? Nini ingine? Like we are having a dialogue today, right?
Not here.
Ndio nasema kama leo example yetu tunafanya we are having a dialogue. Sababu tukinyamaza huko mtaani hatuwezi jua hizi maneno. Ama namna gani? So what is your proposal? Sababu nimeona watu wengi bado imagine we are champions na hatujui ward admin, hatujui sub county officer, hatujui village elder, ati amebadilishwa. So tunaona tufanye namna gani? Huko mbele unaona aje wewe?
Mimi naona hizo baraza ndizo zitasaidia, lakini pia wengi wetu hata baraza zikiletwa wanauza tu mileage. Sasa bado tu itakuwa tu ngumu, mtu hawezi kufuata shughuli yake ati anaenda kwa baraza. Wengi wanakuza tu kuna kitu ndio atoke. Sasa ni tuwajibike sisi wenyewe, tujitume ndio tuweze kutoa mambo mengi kwa chini kwa dhamu.
Awesome. Let us appreciate her. Wale wa mileage wanajijua. Hatuta wadai hawako hapa.
Okay, ni wengi hatujui hao administrator nini. Utapata kama wale mimi najua kuna mahali tulipitana vibaya ndio tukajuana. Na nikaenda kwa ofisi yao. Okay, kitu naona baadaye kama sisi pande huo ni Woodland itabidi tupange siku at least tukae mahali wakuje tuongee nao na alafu ndio tuende kwa ofisi hao wenzangu wawajue, kwa sababu ni wengi hawajishughulishi ama wataki story kama hizo. Lakini saa hii unajua vile hawa datoreti hawa nani, kuna sababu kwa nini hao wanajuana sana, kwa sababu wengi wanaoperate kutoka kwa MCA, kutoka kwa nini yule utapata tu ile group hata imsikani na MCA ama nini, lakini wanajuana nao watu utapata ni kidogo. Lakini kama sisi umetufungua macho, hata sisi tutaanza kufuatilia.
Wow, mambo yamechemka. Tutafika huko mbele, muanze kujipanga na kuja huko.
Mimi naona watu wengi kwa kijiji tunapenda kuignore things. Ukisikia mkutano kwa mahali, utasikia mtu anasema, mimi siwezi acha kazi yangu niende mkutano kama hizo, zinakuwa tu mkutano za siasa. So itakuwa poa tuache kuignore things mbele, baadaye tutaanza kujilaumu tujue hatujui, but ni sisi ndio tulikuja kwenda mkutano kama hizo.
Unaona kutoka mkunji hapo ananyamaza. Pumuani, ananyamaza. Public participation yetu hata sijui last kwa nini. Lakini sasa hivi tumetufungua akili na venye tunafaa kufanya. Yaani kitu nito public participation pumuani kwetu. Ni ngumu. Kamkunji tuko na wanasiasa wengi kushinda hata huyo uko na siasa mmoja kwenye anasimama. So kwetu mmetufungua akili. Kwanza tunadagoreti piga sana. Mmefanya mpaka nisikie wivu.
You guys, mnaendelea mbele, nikiitwa mnapaka kasisi. Mko mbele. Endeleeni na hiyo motisha. Mmetufungua akili. Tukiwa hapa wawili tunawasemea tu tunakoreti. Ni maswali tuna public participation. Watu wangu wakumwona tano na wamenyamaza na Tifa ndo kabisa. Akisikia public participation anacheka, akisikia tuna MC anatuangalia. Mmetufungua akili. Asante sana.
Awesome. That is really incredible, eh? Sasa tunataka the same mwito wenye uko hapa tupeleke kwa ground. Sawa? We want our voices to be heard. Hizi policies zikitengenezwa just as the way Dagoretti North wametuambia, imagine budget iko allocated budget hata hawajawahi sikia. Ama so what does that mean? The budget is there. The officers who are supposed to support us wako. Ni sisi tujitume. Sawa sawa?
Nataka tu kushukuru mheshimiwa wetu wa South B kuona ni Mr. Wigera Cheki kwa sababu alifanya watu wa kazi wa South B wakajua mjadili wao. Kitambo hapo namjua, walikuwa nakuja kusema MCA wetu barabara ni chafu, imejaa takataka. Yesu kazi ya mheshimiwa ni kazi ya board admin wa county. Sasa ndio itoa kazi akaingia kwa participation, akaongelesha na kuelezea kazi yake ni gani, ya board admin ni gani. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru sana kwa sababu alielezea wakazi wa South B na wakashika na sawa na pia kazi ya MCA ya board admin. Tunashukuru sana mheshimiwa wetu.
Awesome, incredible feedback. Hapa tunaambiwa namna gani tutembelee hizi maofisi. Si tumesema ignorance tunawacha wapi? Tunawacha huku, sio sisi, lakini tutaiwacha huku kwa mlango. Tukitoka ignorance hatutakuwa nayo. Awesome. Now, what are the key messages that we really need to pass to these policy makers? Vile tumesoma hapa leo kwa hii mjadala yetu tukijadiliana. I'm coming to you. Huku mbele. Yes, Winnie, you have something to say? Tuambie.
Watu wa Dagoretti wanawaushai, watu wa Kibra, hata tunashatemo. Natemo anyamaze kabisa. I want to hear views from Kibra. Kuna Kibra, kuna another. Kuna wa utawala. Nilisikia mtu wa utawala.
Ameongea, and I'm still going back there.
Kuna ile ingine pia nilisikia na nisema views zake kabisa.
Okay, utaona tunakuja. Kibera, leo mmenyamaza sana. Kibra, yes. Late afternoon.
Because I remember there was a cleaning initiative with the guys from Kibra. I understand that I can't see so many of them who are absent with apology and they gave their reasoning, which is good. But then I want to understand this initiative. Did you get to hear about them? Uliziona zikifunction. And the guys wanted, there was a field in Karanja Road that was supposed to be taken out for community use, right?
Yeah.
Has it gone through? We want to hear. Those are the things. So what are you doing about it? And then do you understand the policies that have come around community land? Does your area have community land? Do you even know what community land is? Ama ni mnaonanga tu ghorofa penye watoto walikuwa wanacheza mpira inasimama inapanda. Their story inaisha. Because then our kids in Nairobi don't have fields to play in. Other than the guys from Kampunji who have really fought to keep their place. Right? How many people have you fought of? So many, right? Yeah, so what are you doing about your community land? Kuna watu nilikuwa nimesikia wakiongea kuhusu carbon markets last time from Kafuji. What is happening around that? Do you know what carbon markets are? Do you want to be part of carbon markets? Unaona, what are carbon credits? Like vitu kama hizo. There are guys from Kibra who are in that initiative and they did not give us feedback. We want to hear that. Before the meeting ends, we want to have a picture around that. Before the other meetings, so before we engage you some more, we want to know. Kuna mtu hata hajasikia kitu kama carbon credit. At least angetoka hapo amesikia. Tuko. Niende afanye research kidogo, aongee na watu wa community, right? So, watu wa Kibra, watu wa Kafuji.
Na sikuwa na ugali kwa lunch. Ama mlikuwa na ugali kabla tufike? Walikuwa wanajua, lakini hatuwezi lala, sio? Haya. Nani anaweza tuambia a few things about carbon credit? Kamukunjiti. Hata ukisema na lugha ya mama tu bado tutaelewa. Okay.
I was to answer on key messages to policymakers. So, my first point is an urgent action is needed and action is required to prevent irreversible damages to ecosystem and communication. Pili ni support for renewable energy sources will help reduce carbon emissions.
Wapeleke pole alafu weke maika makaribu.
Okay, one is the key messages to policy makers is an urgent action is needed and the action is required to prevent irreversible damages to ecosystems and communications. Hiyo ni ya kwanza. Ya pili ni support for renewable energy sources will help reduce carbon emissions.
Awesome. Na sasa
Okay, carbon credit is a very complicated discussion, but let us have an action in the Paris Agreement. Okay, dunia nzima tuna kila wakati mara kadhaa kuongelea kuhusu climate change, imetangwa COP, sio? COP ni namaanisha nini? Conference of Parties, sio? So katika Paris walielewana kwamba tunaweza tumia land yetu kufanya mitigation. Mitigation kwa ufupi ni kupunguza nini? Hewa kaa katika dunia ama katika atmosphere. Hewa kaa ndio carbon, sio? Sio? Tukipunguza hewa kaa katika dunia tutakuwa at least better, sio? So, because we can use our land to plant trees, to plant mangroves, to plant grass, that will help to absorb the carbon, ama hiyo hewa kaa, tunaelewa? Lakini wakati wakasema kwamba we don't have to use our own land, si ndio? Tunaweza kuwa land ya mtu mwingine ambaye kuna land kubwa, kama Mkenya for example. Sasa kuna land Kenya, kuna land mingi open, Wamasai kuna land kubwa, mangroves ziko nyingi hapa ni kubwa. We can use other people's land to absorb nini? Hiyo hewa kaa, ndio. Nao tutatumia land yao tuwalipe kwa kupanda hiyo miti, kupanda hiyo mangrove, ama kupanda hiyo nyasi, ndio. So mzungu anakuja anasema hapa Kajiado tumechukua ekari 10,000. Sawa? Ya nyasi, ndio. So watu ambao kwenye hiyo land tutawalipa nini? Milioni 5. Kwa sababu hiyo nyasi ya hiyo ekari. Atakuwa na mtu kuangalia kama nyasi iko na usilete ng'ombe hapo, si ndio? Tutumia nini? Another example. Somewhere in Kwale, Kilifi, kuna mangroves, si ndio mangroves? Hii inamea katika next to the ocean. Wanapanda mangroves nyingi. Acres and acres of mangroves, and you get paid for the planting. That is what carbon market is. Umeelewa? So kama unapanda miti nyingi, forest kubwa, unaweza lipwa carbon credits, si ndio? Lakini kuna shida kubwa kidogo huko juu of who selling the carbon. Only one company is your license, and a benefit. For example, in the program that I'm talking about in Koko, in Kwale, wako na 600,000 people, ama residents, ama community members, but they got 1.2 million last year, which means it is 2 shillings per person. 600,000 people. So hiyo ndio shida. You're not paying the whole percentage. Mtu mwingine anakula percentage kidogo, wewe unapata kidogo, sababu kuna mtu hapo katikati, the middle person. Sasa I think I'm clear. Okay.
Awesome. Have we all learned something new? Najua sio mpya kwa wale wengi. You something to say? Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about advocacy, and I was advocating for the environment because I'm from Kijiji, and Kijiji people don't have awareness. Decorating. Yeah. Decorating. Where we live, when it was flooding, there was sewer came inside the houses, and we still live in those houses, and that smell of sewer cannot go today unless you move out. So I was just advocating for clean environment. That's all.
Wow. That's a good one, right? Yes. Area inatuambia kwenye huko bado wewe ni change maker. Hakuna kunyamaza. Will you have something to add?
So with that conversation, it wasn't for us to go really deep na kuelewa what these carbon markets are, what these carbon credits are. That was just to sensitize you that this is happening in our community, right? Wengine wenu, brought it up when they had been approached for that. They had been approached for such projects, in your community, but then they were proposing to use communal land. That is when nilikuwa nauliza, does your community, nani anajua community yako kama iko na communal land? Kwenye umetoka, ni kiwanja gani na miamoni ya community? Kwani kunayo? Iko. Iko na wamejenga kitu kizao ndani. Gani hiyo community land?
Kwetu iko na ishakuratiwa na mtu iko sasa hivi wanafuatilia. Kumekuwa na shida, ilikuwa tujengewe huduma center yetu na Dawiti. Basi ikawa wanafuatilia zile viwanja zenye ziko ndio tunajua sisi tunaenda Dawiti sawa. Basi ikawa wajenge kwetu ndio tusiende kwa wenyewe. Sasa unakuta sasa hivi MP anafuatilia hizo vitu, wanaanza kumtusi wenye wamejenga hapo mashamba zao, hawataki kutoa wajenge kile community kusaidia community. So zishakuwa na watu lakini ziko.
So we took on a general understanding what communal land is. Ndio, community land. Zile land zenye kitambo, hata kama ni kitambo labda sikuwa. Hata mimi nafikia. Watu walikuwa wanachezea football kwa hizo areas. Watu walikuwa wanakuwa na chama zao. Like those were communal land. Ndio. What do you know about these communal lands? Because they are very important. Because here you find there is an area which has such a big population. I'll give an example, Pipeline. Is anyone here from Pipeline? Such a huge population of growing families. But do they really have fields ama viwanja where kids can go and play? Ama just people can go and rest? Unaona? There aren't such things kwa community zetu. But the fact that wewe kama a member of that community, na unapata wengine wenu you stayed in an area for over 20 years. So you're part of that environment. Wewe ni pioneer wa hiyo area, si ndio? So kuna zile zenye ulikuwa unajua that is, so what happens to them? How are they supposed to benefit the community? What is the community supposed to do when it is suddenly grabbed and there is someone building a very huge story building? What are you supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go? Unaona? So as we discuss climate change, these are the aspects of climate change that are very important. So when you say we are having a women's dialogue, wewe ndio mama mtoto, sio? You are the one who's mostly with the kids, you're mostly the one when unajua kwenye watoto wataenda wacheze. Nimetaja ya Karanja because I remember the guys from kulikuwa na Karanja, kulikuwa na Rugby, sio? Ya Karanja is where the young men used to go and play soccer, and this was to deter them from criminal activity. So this was more of a rehabilitation. So tunajua ule kijana, he's joining a gang, let us bring in him. This is an aspect of community, sio? Tuwalete with a parent mwenye amejitolea nitakuwa na train hawa watoto. And then we saw that there was someone who wanted to grab that particular piece of land. And then we had an idea, we were like, maybe we should approach the MP. We wrote everything and we were like, maybe the members of this group should be given a chance to plant around the field, not inside the field, around, we protect. Because ukipanda mboga zako, sikakuja kuchunga mboga zako. So nani huyu mwenye atakuja kujenga wakati nini hapo? So it was more of bringing community, a communal responsibility of protecting something. So nowadays, and that is why we are advocating, that is why we have these dialogues. The dialogues are not just for us to discuss matters, it's for us to go deeply to understand how we can keep our community safe. So kuna hizi various aspects zenye tu mlitaja, zenye ananiwatajia, kulikuwa na security na climate, kulikuwa na health na climate. Unaona venye hizi aspects zote zina intermarry into our day-to-day living activity. Because kama you don't have sewer lines, that means your health is at risk. Unakaa na sewage, sio? So what does that mean to your health? Unaona? If everything is grabbed for community, where will the young men go? This is where your security comes in. What was Dagoretti, I remember with the chicken project. Ziliibiwa zote, uongo kweli. Walikuwa wanapanda mboga zinakomaa, asubuhi wamechuniwa. What does that mean to you? Mpaka ikafika mahali project kwanza tukaona wata kwanza tuachane nayo. Kwa sababu kwenye projects, they are not benefiting. What does that, you see these are the various aspects zenye tuna bringing. Watu wa Kamkunji, what have you done differently to protect that very prime piece of land muko nayo mpaka sasa? These are the insights we want to hear. Because I understand that Kamkunji may fight tooth and nail to keep that piece of land. It's very green, the location is amazing. Na huku kando yake kumejengwa, I bet people would want to put up stalls there. I bet kuna mtu anaweza taka tu ploti asimamisha hapo, true or false? Hata yake supermarket, that's a very, like the spot is very prime. Imeneiba sana, right Nancy? Sina imeneiba sana nini? Yani it is. So what have you done differently to keep Hikitu as a group? Kwanza they have brought, how many CBOs are there? And a cake. And a cake, I bet you are more than 23. So you see what it means when people come together. Because if they are 23, can you imagine how many people are within those groups? Group moja na hold watu wangapi? Unasikia 50, 60. That means kwa hizo groups zote, if you were to count 23 times 60 each, how many people are those? That's a huge number of people. Umeona, you see now sasa kunyang'anya watu karibu 700. You're not dealing with one person. So what does that show? We are stronger together. So we say your voice is important. If these three wakiongea hapa waseme wanataka the meeting needs to be done. It's not as impactful as if this whole row decides, it's time to go home. You see? So that's what we mean, wakisema voices for just climate action. Justice in every aspect of climate. Sawa, si eti tunachagua, and we are just based on, we will be talking about our kitchen gardens. No, it doesn't stop there. Sindio? Juu mimi siwezi lala njaa huko na mboga zako, hata mimi siwezi kubali. Hata mimi. And if I have kids, for real, you will not have chicken, and my kids hawajakula mayai mwaka mzima, hata mimi navuna. So that's why the matter of just comes in. So it's not just it's like you're wearing a blind and you're not looking at all the aspects of the community. So when I keep on saying, like, let us, I want to hear, because I know some of you are doing really amazing work on the ground, but I don't know if, I think what were comms, I think we should interact na comms sana, so that you see how you can actually bring your stories to life. Because I have, when Akina Ratemo, they protected the land in Woodley. So it has taken a lot for you to keep that piece of land. So what have you been doing? Which channels have you used to keep that piece of land? What were the that's in Nigeria. Tuli Akina Salma, you remember Kukuzeru? What did you do differently in that aspect? Yeah, to protect. Because at that time, there's a time to my pandas in Avuno. What did you change? You see, that's the picture I want to see. What did you do differently? Kamkunji, iyo shamba yenu, I really want to know. Because, can you imagine they have kept it? That very prime piece of land. What are you doing? Whether we have seen that there are very many under one umbrella NGO, CEO, and then there are so many groups within. How do these groups come together? How are you able to keep these people together in unity? Those are the aspects you are trying to scale. What do you do? Do you guys have monthly meetings? Do you guys have, how? Where do you guys get funding? How do you rally for funding? I bet that groups want to hear. Sisi tunakanga chini, tunaandika proposal, ama sisi watu tuna approach mtu. Kuna wenye wanashtuka mkisema public participation na kwa wow. Never, right? So how do you get this information? Do you guys have a WhatsApp group? Do you guys just see it on Facebook? Is it a Facebook page you're following? So that the others can borrow, because it is meant to enlighten and highlight ways that I can improve kwenye niko. See? Because personally, I've learned a lot from Ratemo when it comes to farming. I have learned. So whatever I learned, I incorporate. Whatever I learned, I incorporated on my side. So hizo ndizo vitu nataka kusikia. I know you guys know what climate change is. So when we call it women's dialogue, you should see how women need, like, the whole community. So wholesome. So when I point out what were Kamkunji, nitasema they are the guys who had approached me. They were like, okay, so this is what is happening in carbon market. We would like to get more knowledge around it because we've been approached for it. So when I ask anyone, nani ameshasikia carbon markets kwao? Nani amesikia kitu kama carbon credits kwao? So that we know where we are at when it comes to knowledge. That's why I asked about policies. So kuna hizi policies. What do you know about these policies? Have you heard about them? Do you know as a country that we are doing this? No? So yes, please come forward with information. That's what we want. So nianze kuanza vizuri sana na watu wa Woodley. What are you doing to protect those communal lands? Unafanya nini?
It would be very much supportive if there is any person here who has been attending these trainings and meetings for cancer, and you don't belong to any group of ground. Itakuwa makosa sana. Because from answering the question that raised there, if you got those CEOs networking in a group, The networking is higher than CPO, means that the other CPOs can be attending. So, you may have activities that will need that, you don't have a land, and you realize what happened to that land. It used to be ours, mtaa. Sasa hii imejengwa kigorofa ama kuna mtu amepiga mabati no. From that particular point ndio mtaanza kufuatilia. Suppose tufuatilie ile kiwanja, at least tukipata hiyo kiwanja ilikuwa ya community. Tuweke nursery, trees, sindio? So kama wewe uko kwa group, jameni, ni mradi gani mtahitaji kufanya uone kweli? Huu mradi kama ile na yetu tungerudishiwa, tungefanyia. So as like we gather groups, uko kwenye tunatoka, sasa unaanga tukija hapo na kiko group gani umetoka, sindio? So that those groups nimeona we realize community lands more, na tukaanza kufuatilia. Wengine hata wanajenga shule kwa mabati, hivyo mtu aliuziwa ikapelekwa kwa shule, na zubaisha tu shule ni ya mtaani, ndio watoto watasomea hapo. Shule ni nyingi sasa kupeleka watoto, lakini community lands za kufanyia projects ni chache, sababu kuna watu wanazitembelea wa invest hapo. So groups za maana hizo zitafanya mjadala sana na find out ni lands zipi tunafaa kufanyia miradi yetu kama community.
So as I was pointing that out, nilikuwa nataka kuona mkono ya watu wa Dagoretti, because as we were starting a certain project with them in climate, there was a public piece of land that tulienda mkalima mpaka na MP wengi. What happened? Mkafurushwa from the public land. That is the conversation I wanted us to have. So mlikuwa na public land, tukabeba MP, mkalima. Ni saa ngapi nifike Changolewa? Na mbona mlimolewa? That is the conversation I wanted. Mwana, naelewa we know what climate, but deeply in the projects that we do, deeply in the advocacy that we do, right? Advocacy is for you to keep the community and protect it. Sindio? Communities thrive when zimeshikana, sindio? And that is what we are struggling with currently, right? Because I want, as long as I'm okay, that's your business, sindio? Which has led us to this very down bad environment we're dealing with, sindio? So with climate change, we have to work communally, sindio? Unaniona mimi na uzanga makaa na unajua nachoma forest kabisa. Na hiyo sababu unakulanga 50 ni choma, sindio? And then suddenly we have fires, we have droughts, and we don't even have wildlife that we used to have, sindio? Nakumbuka there's a time people used to go to Uhuru Park and sleep there. What happened? Doesn't it concern you? It's a park, but it was meant for recreation for all of us. So see, vitu kama hizo, those are the questions I'll give you. Those are the questions I want to intrigue in you today. Those are hizo ndio vitu nataka ujiulize. Because kitambo we also used to have halls, right? Later I wasn't there, but tunajua kuna tulikuwa. So yangu Kaya, but right, it's history, that's allowed. But yeah, I understand that there were community, they were called what? Kasmol? The halls where people used to go in areas. Social halls. So, why don't we have that today? Because it was for mental well-being, physical well-being, and socially we were very connected. Kuna pali ukienda uibe watajua wewe ni msingeni. Kwa sababu wanajua wezi wao wote, they own them. Hiyo ngumi ilikuwa ya kijana wa fulani. Na anaenda kwa mzazi na ile kuku yake ilibiwa atapata, sivyo? That is communal, sivyo? And you think tunaweza kucounter to make an impact in climate change, wewe peke yako ukifanya kazi ya climate change? You feel like you will make a difference wewe peke yako ukifanya? But if we decided this is what this is our plan and this is our goal, Who knows the goals that we have as a country for climate change that we are meant to have achieved by 2030? Hata moja. Yeah? Hizo sasa ni outcomes. Hiyo ni kama tunafanya outcome harvesting. The goals that tumejiwekea. Goals, hiyo sasa ni outcome. After we hit the goal, that will be the outcome of the goal. So you see, these are the things nilikuwa nataka, which we have done so well. Sawa. We have done so well. But can we, kidogo, I want to hear from Kate. Kate, what are you doing? What are some of the things kwa katiba yenu, because I'm made to understand that you call a katiba? What have you put there to protect that piece of land? Because I really think, kama Dagoretti North, ni North? No, it's kwanza nini? What should they do? Nasikia mkiambiwa nyinyi hamna. You don't have a time.
Winnie? And then also the team from South B wanaweza tuambie hiyo community hall wanaganaje, because they have a number of them zenye mimi nimetembelea na nikaziona. And they equally have a playground, hata kama sio kubwa sana, it's a bit encroached. Watuelezee.
Sasa sisi kama South B kuna hiyo community, hiyo social hall. Hiyo social hall juu iko kwa kijiji, ile kitu tulifanya ndio kukuwe na security, tuliinvolve au vijana wa hapo. Ndio wako answerable kwa ofisi yetu, but tuliwa involve kwa hiyo ni kuchunga, au ndio wamesimamilia zile choo ziko hapo, au ndio wamesimamilia hizo maji, tuliwekea mpaka maji, au ndio wamesimamilia maji, na au ndio wamesimamilia hiyo hall, na tukawanunulia mpaka viti, au ndio wamesimamilia kila kitu in case any income is coming in, au ndio so that at least kuna a source of employment na income pia, na at least wako involved na wako busy.
Do you see it in our objectives? Do you see what she said in our objectives? Kwanza, the fact that anasema to involve our youth, that is to empower participation. So do not do this activity on your own. Empower the people around there to participate in your project, in whatever project you want to do for the benefit of the community. Pia kuna kubuild network hapo, sio? Pia umewapea place ya kushare insights zao. That is where, probably that's where they go to relax, to make friends, right? Sio?
And again, so there's one way what we did actually and what was, because that was a big first thing what actually the others I attributed, because it's a soko that's supposed to be for our energy. So say those hawkers wanyama vibanda kwa barabara, kwanza tuweke biashara huko to prove that it is our soko and we demand for it. Mimi niliuza sukuli, niliuza chai, mayai hapo, omelette, na kukawa tuko wengi, tumekonvert hapo, unafanya hivyo kwa mboga nini yote, unaona? And we are very proud of it. So mpaka today that zeal is still in us, na plan ni one there. Na tukiitwa kwamba tuende tuweke, hata kama unaweka nusu grade unabeba uende uweke. That's what we did.
Pole kwa kuongea sana, lakini nasema ile kitu najua ni area MCA wetu ako very involved na wananchi, especially wananchi wa mashinani.
Peta wanatoka county government. Is it true? Ukitoka kwa ile ward, kutoka MCA, MP, wametoka kwa ODM party, it is very hard to convince that nini office kuwa huyu ward administrator umeleta, we are not working with that ward administrator properly. So inakuwa very ngumu sana, because sub-county administrator ametoka kwa county administrator, ana represent governor. Is it true? I'm just trying to answer. It is not easy. What I'm saying, it is not easy. Doing the lobby in Atawe when you are at risk. So at times, even doing lobby, you have to do it vile ambavyo umesema kama group. You not do it as an individual. Hata ukaa that baraza, unaulizwa unakaa hiyo baraza kama nani? Are you part and parcel of that committee ya UD? So everywhere you go, kuna zile policies zenye ziliput, kuna mahali you can't read. So that I want to clarify. Two, about the communal land. Kama vile ambavyo ulielezea, ile project ya kwanza ilikuwa ifanywa na watu wa Dagoretti North, tulifanya kwa public land na tulifanya na MP wetu, but suddenly tukaambiwa tutoa. Till now nani Kenota will tell you, office hata ya MP wetu tumekodisha because public land zimekuwa grabbed. Braidbird ili grab, lakini hizo ni vitu ziko wapi? Kwa ni kesi inaendelea. It is all the goodwill of kwa leaders wetu wako na ile goodwill, wanaendelea kufuatilia. Mimi siwezi fuatilia peke yangu.
I was speaking on communal. How are you dealing with things communal?
Yes, Madam, just for clarification, in our place of being, what I can say is that our MCA anakuanga very open na huwa anasema hivi, wakati wa politics ni politics, wakati kuna public participations, kitu ya kwanza anasemana politics aside, politics not aside. Kama kuna vijana walikuwa ODM, kuna wale walikuwa UDA, sisi wote tunakuwa kitu kimoja. Kuna vile mambo ya politics uwezo kwa roho ndio wanasemanga, hiyo tunaikanga aside. Kwa sababu ikifika ni community kuna a lot of parties. Lakini sasa unajua our MCA ndio huwa anasimamia mambo ya climate change. Yeye ndio huwa anachambua. So is doing a very good work. Kuna community land kama 9 ambazo ziko subsidiary. Already wananchi wamesi-identify, we know them. Kuna zile zimeanza kurudi na sitaendelea kurudi kwa sababu watu wote wameparticipate, wamekuwa kitu kimoja. Upande ya public participation hakuna mambo ya politics, hakuna mambo ya parties. I think that's all.
Sisi wanakumbusha hapo kwetu wani hiyo part tunasikia MCA story zake ati kumuita kamako MCA wetu vijana, MCA wetu akona kiburi, and I'm not fearing kitu yote nikisema akona kiburi. MCA wetu pia sanaweza tokea ukiwa na msiba, umechomeka ama mtu amekufa, hiyo ndio tunaweza kuona. Same applies to our MP. So hiyo paki yetu tunasikia park ni sisi wenyewe kushikana, kuungana na kuiweka venye iko. Na venye kama sasa tumepanda hizo, kuna sunflower saizi, tumepanda hizo sunflowers. So na mimi tena pale vile nipige picha ama tupige tu picha, tuta-advertise Facebook, tuta-advertise kwa social media in short. Tuki-advertise na watu kama Crown Trust, mtu mmoja wewe umekaa na hautakuta kumtuyo mtu mmoja tumemweka hapo kama sasa. In short, okay, kiatu tunakuta tumesimamiwa na left. Na left akisema tuendeni hivi tunaenda. Cause it's straightforward. Na si mwoga. Na au vijana tukono, hata sisi wa mama hapa sisi wao. Sasa hii kwanza kanoma tu kidogo unaweza shtuka. Wale wanasinzia hapa unaweza shtuka my friend. In short, sisi si waoga. No wala tuko hivyo. Hata bila MCA, bila huyo MP, tumesimamisha hiyo kamkunji. Unataka kamkunji ilikuwa kwa place gani? Kamkunji ilikuwa kwa place. Wewe mama ukipita, as long as you are a woman, you are raped. So hiyo boundary ya bridge, watu washauri ikifika saa 2 wako kwao na sisi tuko kwetu. Unaona, saa hii ni free. unaweza pita anytime unataka. Tulitoa hiyo nini hiyo place dump site tukaiweka recreation site, na pia bado sisi tumepatia vijana kadhaa walikuwa on drugs kazi. Hatupatii mtu ako normal sana, tunachukua mtu ako on drugs sana kazi, analima, ana fence, anachunga park. So tukisikia sasa kama sasa tunasikiza stories za watu wa South Beach, MCA tunaangaliana, huyo ndio aligeuka akaniangalia kabisa, MCA huko. Tunaona sasa sisi wenyewe tunashikana, na ikifika kuchanga tunachanga, ikifika ni uweka na idea kama sahii lately sijui kama Ana ameenda juzi, anaona tumefence, tumeweka place ya watoi kando na place watu wazima wanaweza kaa. So tunasekiwa nini ule boy child na girl child. So wana sahii mapigili ni wengi, so tuna kitu kaa hiyo, alafu tumeweka watu kadhaa wakicheza hapo, watu wakicheza hapo kwa park, kuna watu wanawachunga, na kule kwingine pia kuna vitu tunachunga. So hakuna vitu mbaya mbaya zinafanyika.
So yes, so that's no wonder tukianza I highlighted the objectives, because kila kitu yenye tumesema true of all imefall under the very objectives zenye tulikuwa tunatry. Like I just wanted to show you, it's not as complex as it sounds. Simple. It's things that we do every day that are making an impact. So it's a rehabilitation center, and as you are rehabilitating the land, you're rehabilitating the people. Simple. Hii inafunga na gani pale? Empower. Iko na empower, iko na facilitate dialogue, because they need, umesikia, if they want some money for their activities, wanachanga. They have a leader. I think you should speak in that very same voice when you're doing your elections next time, so that that very voice, you use it to speak next time. So these are the things we nilikuwa nataka to discuss. As women, unasikia amesema women kitambo in your area did not have a voice. Now you're just at par. Might not have gotten there, but you have gotten somewhere. Because I say that we women of today, sisi waleo, we are running because someone chose to walk or crawl. Kuna mtu tu aliamua tunafaa kuwa na job there, and now we have jobs, right? So whatever we are doing right now will be a walk for someone else to run. So as we're speaking on community, communal land, when you're speaking for things that require us policies, things that will affect us generally, whether ulitaka kuparticipate publicly, wakapitisha policy on climate yenye wewe uliona wasn't very important, it will impact you. If they say there will be water in Nairobi, like we have tried severally cleaning up the Nairobi river, but so yeah, we have tried cleaning up that river so many times. So if that river was clean today, what benefit will it serve our community? If the factories, the two industries, and the people who work around the river decided that we will not litter in this river, what purpose? Think, how would Nairobi be if that river was functional? If we could use that river, how will that make an impact at Kambuji, at your grounds? People could come and fish. You see, people could come and do boat riding. There's so many things that river would do to you. So because we are at a step of it is already destroyed. Now we have to rehabilitate. And rehabilitation, as I say, when you look at our governance, the people they actually really reflect how we live our day-to-day lives. Kila mtu anajaribu kuslice ule mwingine, pia kutu sasa tunaslicewa tu tabia iko in unison. So you cannot claim that you will hiyo shamba ikipondo mimi can afford kupeleka watoto wangu. No, that's not okay. we have to protect these communal places for the benefit of penye mnakaa. Kama penye mnakaa kuna miti, kuna green spaces, mentally hata you in a very good, yani strengthened position ya kufanya kazi yako. So you're stressing up. It's like the first few days ukienda ushago, how relaxing is it? Unaona ni kama nitahamia huku, afu mfuko inakukumbusha wa. So you see, there is that. So when we speak on matters communal lands, when you speak on matters climate, how does climate, you as a woman, at an individual level, in the morning, niliona mkipea answers, mkimwambia mimi kama, me like a woman who's living with, not living, yeah. So, Achichi corrects me on that. I think I'll correct all of us after that. So, yeah, how is it impacting her? She shared that in the morning with us. No. Now, sasa sahi, yes, it will affect her, but sisi wote communally, sisi wote in common. And what can we do? Mona, kuna vitu zenye mentioned that you're doing when it comes to public participation, but I want us to be extremely active. Kwanza in the front, climate.
What can they? As in relation to women, apart from that, in relation to women. Amazing.
Let us appreciate her.
Yes, Kesho tuna celebrate. Nice one. Kesho we are celebrating the rural women day. Nani hajatoka ushagoni muone wewe? Nani hajatoka ushago? Nani hajawahi kuzwa na ruralism? Sisi wote kuna mahali ambapo tumetoka, si ndio? So, kama chama zetu, have we planned anything to celebrate tomorrow? Ama hata tulikuwa tunajua siku kama ile exists? And that is why I am here. Mimi ni communications officer. I am at your disposal. Unaona vile kinoti yako hapa, when it comes to mambo za climate, tunataka nini mbegu zetu zifanye hivyo. Whenever you have an issue about communication, Wanjiro tunafaa kufanya aje ndio tupost ndio nini zetu zipate traction. Ndio MCA kama huyo wenu mwenye akuji kuwasaidia. Tukifanya kazi huko Kamkonji, alafu mpost huko atasikia shemoni, si ndio? Akuwe kama apate challenge. Alright? Whenever you guys want, for example, kufanya a small video kuonyeshana, by the way, this is the impact. Crown Trust mulikuja, hapa kulikuwa hivi, kulikuwa na hii flow ya grey. Sasa tulichukua vijana kama our drug addicts, tukawaelimisha, tukawarehabilitate, and this is what we have done. Mtu mwingine mwenye si Crown Trust akiona kazi yenu, hata kuja kuwa support. Si ndio? So whenever you want something, if at all I am available, call me, keep me busy. Mimi sipendi kukaa kwa ofisi, anajua. Keep me busy kwa ground, sawa?
Nitawaandikia namba.
Just to add what she's talking about, you guys are doing very good work. Mfanya kazi nzuri sana Saudi, Kamkunji, Dagoretti North. But kama haionekani huko nje, haikufanyika huko nje. People don't know what you guys are doing. And what she's talking about is very important too. At VCA, kuna media team. Ambayo za kama hata kwa ground, kwa hiyo tupakieni very nice part mnaendelea. There are serious media people kwa mainstream media, serious social media. You can go to KTN News to talk about that hiyo park yenu, hiyo river yenu Saudi, and give it traction so that people can see what you're doing, because you're doing amazing work. So, Krotos of Papa or Project VCA, you can always get, those are wonderful stories that you have. But as a skill, huko nje, because we're not, so we should advocate to the media also to come to the grassroots and do what? And document the stories. Thank you.
So as we are at it, chukua simu yako, take a selfie with someone, take a selfie peke yako. I'm even giving you an opportunity, kuja karibia hapa, the banner, before I finish up and before we state our way forward, our action point, what we are proposing, and how we will work from here henceforth. I need, take a picture, pale, go, I'm allowing you guys. Take a picture, go on Facebook, go on Instagram. How many have Twitter? Go on Twitter.
It is X, it's not Twitter, it's X. I'm old.
You know, I want to see the selfie. I want to see on Facebook. When you post your picture, guys, namsaidie. Don't be left out.
We make a phone. I want to Make sure you tag at Crown Trust. At Crown Trust. I hope you see the spelling. Hashtag Twitter at Crown Trust. Hashtag tag Akina Mama wa Africa. At Crown Trust. At Akina Mama wa Africa. Hashtag Voices for Just Climate Action. Hashtag we are VCA. Hashtag we are VCA. Hashtag hashtag as you post on Facebook, make sure you tag at Crown Trust. At Crown Trust, at Akina Mama wa Africa, hashtag we are VCA. You don't know when I've got so many tags. When I've got so many tags and the correct hashtags, I'm going to so, at Crown Trust, at Akina Mama wa Africa, hashtag we are VCA. Tutapiga picha baadaye. Nilikuwa nataka kuchangamsha. Tafadhali. We are almost done, guys. Hi. So, what is the way forward is what we have said. What is the way forward? What is the way forward? Way forward with what we have come up with. Firstly, I will say we need to be very active in matters that affect us. That is matters policy. Sawa. Public participation. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. One meeting. So as I was saying, what is our call to action? After everything we have said, what is our call to action? Sawa. That is what I'm asking. So one call to action for me is that either public participation, can it not be a flower girl affair? Can you actually dive into it head first? Sawa? Because it is okay hizo vitu zote tunafanya, but ile kitu inatugawa ni sheria zetu na polisi zetu zenye zinapitishwa na zenye zinawekwa. Sawa? Salma, utanipea call to action moja. Who has any call to action yenye anataka kubini before I finish up? Oh, document our stories and share your stories. Have very impactful stories, so document and share. Any other? Okay, I'll give Anne about 2 minutes and then I'll close. Sawa. Naona tamshe ya TikTok. Jamani
No, wanaika hashtag. Kama namna gani sio TikTok. Hata uko TikTok, tag them. Are you on TikTok, Winnie?
We are.
Yes, they are on TikTok. So, wangapi wametag?
Naangalia.
Unajua hiyo si kitu inajificha, inaonekana. So I would like to first of all appreciate each and every one of you for actively participating. Patia jirani yako high five umwambie you made it. Vizuri bwana, you made it. The entire day, you made it. Good job. Tumesikizana ya kwamba we are not only going to be change advocates, we are going to recruit others to sell the same story. Kama namna gani? So have been privileged kutembea pale Kamukunji, Dagoretti, I'm coming. Dago, siwasikii. Nikaribia huko, utaona maneno mzuri. Awesome. So I would like probably one person, peane a vote of thanks to akina mama wa Africa, Crown Trust. They have done an incredible job, right? VCA, anyone? All right, okay, in a minute. Okay.
In 1 minute, let me also take this opportunity to thank Crown Trust. Once again, I'm Edwina from Women's Empowerment Link. Sana sisi huwa tuna implement huku mashinani. So when you are talking about land, as we talk about lake, we do climate change a lot along the lake regions. Tunafanya na wale wamama ambao wako huko chini. In fact, hata hakuna gari huko. Ukienda, you just see the lake. So I am really empowered. I am really encouraged. I am very grateful. So just like Tony said, ile message naweza waambia, nimesikia mko na stories mingi sana. I just want to encourage you to use media. Tumieni media to sell your stories. Juu nimeona mko na stories mingi, mko na mambo mengi lakini they are not known outside here. So jaribuni kutumia media. Otherwise, thank you so much and I'm really encouraged.
Awesome. Let us appreciate her. Thank you so much.
Okay, kwanza tumrudishie Mungu shukrani kwa sababu kama si yeye asingekuwa hapa. Nashukuru sana Ann kwa mafunzo yako. Nimelani vitu zingine hata kama najua nimelani. Nimemeet watu wengine wapya. Asanteni sana.
All right. Let us appreciate her. We are inclusive,
Not appreciate, but I really appreciate everyone for being here. This is my first time. I've seen new faces here, and I'm really thankful for
Crown Trust, DCA, Akina Mama Africa. Then there is something I'd like to request from you guys. Recently I joined a climate change program whereby we use photography to voice our challenges out there. Like it's a hear me, see me. When someone sees that photo, ataweza kuelewa shida zenye tunapitia. So like I've had a lot of stories here. Just requesting if Neza after even one day we come, we just talk about the challenges we face, we take photography, then we post them out there. At least we know what we do out there. It's a persons with disability program. At least it will enable us to know, okay, we focus on PWDs and another person with disability.
Wow. Tumesikia hapo? Yeah, so she's ready for networks? Yeah, usitoke hapa bila kuchukua namba yake. Nancy. Sawa sawa? Yeah.
Mi kwanza ni kushukuru Crown Trust. Tumetoka mbali sana, si mara ya kwanza hapa. It's I think 2 years down the line na tumejifunza mengi sana, but ile tunaweza nika request kama tunaweza tukafanyiwa wanaweza KGT ni ya benchmarking. Azim tuna visitiana tuende benchmarking, tunaenda kama huko nasikia Kamkunji. Okay, Kamkunji tumeshai visit na LCA wetu. Yeah, so tunaweza tukatika hiyo benchmarking, wakuje kwetu tuende kwao tufunzane hiyo.
How much? 20 bob. 20 bob. We walk, Bwana. Yeah? Working on 20 shillings, eh? So what does that tell you? You can take an initiative to exchange contacts hapa na tuweze kufanya hayo. So yangu ya mwisho ni just to appreciate all of you. You have been very active and equally land, reland, vitu mingi. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate. God bless you. Back to you, Mimi.
Asante sana for showing up, for being very present in our participation. Nashukuru sana. Please, the pictures you've taken post #WeAreVCA. To call Twitter, sawa so much. We have prayer and we want us to close with a word of prayer. So please, we have 3 timesheets. Tatu, moja registration, ya pili ya reimbursement na ya tatu ni ya hoteli. Please make sure you have signed all 3. The contact number you have put on the 2 that are for Crown Trust. Please let those contacts be correct. Sawa sawa. Nashukuru sana. Pia hakikisha hujaandika mara mbili. Sawa? Kuna hii ya hoteli. So hii ni ya hoteli. Make sure you sign on this. Haya, and then kuna mbili. Moja ni ya money na ingine ni ya registration for your details. Sawa sawa? So thank you so much. So as we write, please usitoke kama utaandika. Please, sawa sawa. So let me pray for you. Sit down. Let me bless you. So we say our Lord's Prayer. Sawa sawa. Our Father. Give us today our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And as patriots, stand up and say the first stanza of our national anthem. Tafadhali. Tunajenga nchi. Haya, so let us all stand. Haya. Words are very powerful. Oh God of all creation, bless this our land and nation. Justice be our shield and defender. May dwell in unity, peace and liberty. Plenty be found in our borders. Good job. Thank you for showing up. I am looking forward to interacting with you online. I want to see your work online. Nataka nikiingia X, sitafuti ke kwa ramani. I just want to see. Sawa? I just want to tag us at Crown. We are called our comms person. Let's get willing to come to the ground and see. Oh, number yako ocha na some. Na wapi ya mizote?